Hello. Holy shit, my entire PC crashes actually. My OBS crashes and everything else just crashes and I don't know why, but welcome in everyone. Sorry for the crashing stream. Crashing stream ride. Today we're gonna read the folding I do like last this not last week though, like 3 weeks ago. I do like a folding basically. We and a lot of people is choosing let me see, Project Hail Mary as a book reading on Wednesday. It's something that I really do like once a week to practice. Crashing slasher has singing slasher. Um it's I hear all the suggestion. I do like a poll on my channel on my server. We join my server by the way. Oh shit. Yeah. Let me know if you cannot join the server. I think like have an upgrade link because like I delete my server link on this channel because there's a lot of bot going. One of the highest vote is Project Hail Mary. Second highest vote is House of Leaves. Do you guys know House of Leaf? It's a book that inspire the backroom. Basically, it's like the system of the backroom is inspired from the House of Leaf, despite they actually like um invented on their own. But yes, and the third one is Annihilation with Stonebutch Blues. Stonebutch Blues are one of the book that I would like to read if I ever have time, because I heard it's a good queer book for someone that actually like us a queer and trans. I think it's a good book. But welcome in Terra Aus. There goes the ads. I'm gonna wait for the ads first, but thank you for coming. Even though like the stream kind of crashes at the start, but hello, Ren. Hello, Dado. Hello, Multi. What do we rate? Fuck off. And then also welcome in everyone. Let me see. I'll wait for the ads to be done first before I start talking. Hmm. This doesn't seem the ads is starting, but I'm just gonna chill a bit for now. Hold on. And where's like the thing? Where's my book again? Ooh, 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 ooh. Is it here? Oh yeah, this one. Read. Bunch of capture. Oops, ads just done. And get comfy, just chill. I'm just gonna do chill stream today. Let me just putarik kursinya biar enak. Oh, my model is doing weird thing. Hold on. I do not approve that. The reason why I choose Project Hail Mary, because like I go to a cinema like last month and I actually really adored the book. Really adored the story. I know like the book isn't about queer thingy. Amaze. It's a really good thing. Like the protagonist really like attracted me in a way that he just like me for real. The guy reads as my interpretation. The guy look like he's an ace, a romantic, because in the end he does not get attracted to anyone. They're just like me for real. They're just like me. So it's one of the thing that I would like. Why I would like to as well. Oops, there we go. Hmm. Let me just put the books. Uh, Maybe like I put it like rada kesini biar tidak kena copyright ya kan. I'm just gonna read it. as we chill, because feel free to ask a question about the thing. Then beware that like it's gonna be like a spoiler. So if you guys haven't watched it, you guys haven't one planning to read the book, I would recommend to just not watch this because there gonna be a lot of spoiler. It's the one thing that I actually want to read. And I'll be giving my how every 10 chapter, but every like 10 pages probably. Ooh, they even have a chart of a trans configuration. That's pretty good. I'm probably not gonna understand when they do mad. Like, yeah, we're gonna start reading by the first. Right, Kasan, thank you for the alert. Listening, yeah, we're gonna read Project Hail Mary. Have you watched Project Hail Mary yet? My God. So on the first few of the thing, oh, the copyright of the book is 2021 by Andy Weir. It's published in United States by the Ballantine Book, Imperial, and blah blah blah. Project Hail Mary is a work of fiction. Name, character, and places and incident are the product of the ultra imagination are used fictitiously. Any resemblance to the actual events, locale, or person, living or dead, is entire coincidental. Interesting. Okay, chapter 1. They have like I wish I could show it on stream, but they basically it's basically a fiction, right? It's a fiction story about humanity and a dying sun and like human trying to like fix it basically and it's like I would say is a book is revolved around friendship surprisingly funny enough it's about friendship they highlight about more the friendship than the fiction with fiction there's a in the first few pages there's a trust configuration there's some of the and it's a cinema of a rocket that they use. Huh? Interesting. Oh my god. Centrifugal. There we go. Transition to centrifugal mode. Trust mode. Sure, interesting. Oh, there we go. Capture 1. What's 2 plus 2? Something about the question irritates me. I'm tired. I drift back to sleep. A few minutes pass. Then I hear it again. What's 2 plus 2? The soft feminine voice, lack of emotion. Oh, so basically, I need to read it in a way that it's lack of emotion. Like, what's 2 plus 2? I'm bad at this. 6, 7. A voice like emotion. And the pronunciation is identical to the previous time she said it. Is a computer. A computer is hassling me. I'm even more irritated now. I say. I'm surprised. I mean to say, leave me alone. A completely reasonable response, in my opinion. But I failed to speak. Incorrect, says the computer. What's 2 plus 2? Time for an experiment. I'll try to say hello. I say. Incorrect. What's 2 plus 2? What's going on? I want to find out, but I don't have to. But I don't have much to work with. I can't see. I can hear anything other than the computer. I can even feel. No, that's not true. I feel something. I'm lying down. I'm on something soft. A bed? I think my eyes are closed. That's not so bad. All I have to do is open them. I try, but nothing happened. Why can't I open my eyes? Open! And open! Open, dang it! Oh, I felt a wiggle that time. My eyelid moved. I felt it. My eyelid creep up, and a blinding light sears my retinas. Glug. Why do you always say like the weirdest thing? I would usually like when people like struggling, they would just say like glug. No, this person just say like the most random shit like glug, oh. And I'm not even grunting. It's just like weird word. Imagine like I get unconscious, I wake up and I keep saying 6, 7, and like Mundo go whatever he please. Like what the fuck? Well, I say. I keep my eyes open with sheer force of will. Everything is white with shade of pain. A movement detected. My tormentor say. What's 2 plus 2? The whiteness lesson. Still plus two. My eyes are adjusting. I start to see shape, but nothing sensible yet. Let's see. I can move my hands. No. Feet? Also no. But I can move my mouth, right? Question mark? I've been saying stuff. Not stuff that makes sense, but it's something. See, say like the weirdest word again. He say fur after this. I thought he say ghoul. Incorrect. What's 2 plus 2? The shapes start to make sense. I'm in bed. It's kind of awful shape. Let's light shine down on me. Camera in the ceiling watch my every move. Creepy talk, that's it. I'm more much concerned about the robot arm. The two brushed steel armature hang from the ceiling. Each has an assortment of disturbingly penetration looking tools. Where hands should be okay, it's not a dildo gang. Can't say I like the look of that. Okay, he starts saying like the worstest thing again. I say, will that do? Incorrect. What's 2 plus 2? Dang it. I summon all my willpower and inner strength. Also, I'm starting to panic a little. Good. I used that too. Okay, he finally say something. I finally say. Correct. Thank God. I can talk shirt off. I breathe a sigh of relief. Wait, I just control my breathing. I take another breath on purpose. My mouth is sore. My throat is sore, but it's my soreness. I have control. I'm wearing a breathing mask. It's tied to my face and connected to a hose that goes behind my head. Can I get up? I question. No, but I can move my head a little. I look down at my body. I'm naked and connected to more tubes. I cannot take this book sorry. I'm naked and connected to more tubes than I can count. They're one in each arm, one in each leg, one in my gentleman equipment. Gentleman equipment, dear lord, and two that disappear under my thigh. I'm guessing one of them is up where the sun doesn't shine. That can be good. Also, I'm covered with electrodes. The sensor type sticker like for an AKG, but they're all over the place. Well, at least they're only one skin instead of jam it into me. Huh? I wheeze. I try again. Where am I? What's the cube root of 8? The computer asks. Where am I? I say again. This time it's easier. Incorrect. What's the cube root of 8? I don't even know. I don't even know it myself. I take a deep bread and speak slowly. Do time e to the to IP. Incorrect. What's the cube root of 8? But I wasn't incorrect. I just wanted to see how smart the computer was. Answer: not fairy. 2, I say. Correct. Everything you just rooted on 2, yes, I swear. I'll listen for a follow up question, but the computer seems satisfied. I'm tired. I drift off to sleep again. I wake up. How long was I out? I must have been a while before I feel rested. I open my eyes without any effort. That's progress. I try to move my fingers. They wiggle as instructed. Alright. Now we're getting somewhere. Hand movement detected, says the computer. Remain still. What? Why? The robot arm come for me. They move fast. Before I knew it, they removed most of the tube from my body. I didn't feel a thing, so my skin is kind of numb anyway. Only 3 tubes remain, and 4 in my arm. A tube on my butt. A tube. That this item is violating this guy right now. Is it not horror? Okay, you know what? Reading. Robot arm come for me. They move fast. Before I knew it, they removed most of the tube from my body. I didn't feel a thing, though my skin is kind of numb anyway. Only three tubes remain, and four in my arm, a tube up my butt, and a catheter. A catheter. What is that? Those little two are kind of signature item I wanted to remove, but okay. Item on my butt. Here's my arm. Let it fall back to the bed. I do the same for my left. They feel heavy as heck. I repeat the process a few times. My arm are muscular. Ooh. How do you have a muscular arm if you just be a vegetative for like a long years though? You know what? Okay, that doesn't make sense. I assume I have some massive medical problem and been in this bed for a while. Otherwise, what would they have me hooked up to all this stuff? Shouldn't there be a muscle atrophy, right? Shouldn't you have like muscle atrophy? And shouldn't there be a doctor? Or maybe the son of a hospital? And what's with this bed? It's not a rectangle, it's an oval. I think it's mounted to the wall instead of the floor. Take a trail off. Still kind of tired. Take the tube out. The computer doesn't respond. I do a few more arm lift. I wiggle my toes. I'm definitely getting better. I tilt my ankle back and forth. They're working. I raise my knee up. My legs are well toned too. Not bodybuilder thick, but still too healthy for someone on the verge of the dead. I'm not sure how thick they should be though. I press my palm to the bed and push. My torso rises. I'm actually getting up. The take home and shrink, but I'll soldier on. The bed rocked gently as I move. It's not a normal bed, that's for sure. As I raise my head higher up, I see the head and foot of the elliptical bed are attached to a strong looking wall mount. It's kind of a rigid hammock. Weird. Oh, Hanu, welcome in. We're reading Project Hail Mary right now. Soon, I'm sitting on my bat tube again. Eh. Not the most comfortable sensation. But when in the tube up your butt ever comfortable. Have a better view of things now. This is no ordinary hospital room. The wall look plastic and the whole room is round. Stark wide, light come from the ceiling mounted LED light. These are two more hammock-like bed mounted to the wall, each with their own patient. We are arranged we are arranged in triangle and the roof-mounted arm of harassment are in the center of the ceiling because they take care of all three of us. I can't see much of my compatriots. They sunken into their bedding like I had. There's no door. Just a ladder on the wall leading to a hatch. Question mark? It's round and has a wheel handle in the center. Yeah, it got to be some kind of hatch, like a submarine. Maybe the three of us have a contagious disease. Contagious disease? Question mark? Maybe this is an airtight quarantine room. There's a small fan here and there on the wall, and I feel a little airful. It could be a controlled environment. I slide one leg up over the edge of my bed, which make it wobble. The robot arm rushes toward me. I flinch, but they stop short and hover nearby. I think they're ready to grab me if I fall. Full body motion detected. The computer says, "What's your name?" Seriously? I ask. Incorrect. Attempt number two. What's your name? I open my mouth to answer. Uh. Incorrect. Attempt number three. What's your name? Only now does it occur to me. I don't know who I am. Ooh, amnesia. I don't know what I do. I don't remember anything at all. I say, incorrect. A wave of fatigue grips me. It's kind of pleasant, actually. The computer must have sedated me through the IV line. Wait, I mumble. This guy is, I would say, like the weirdest shit, I swear. The robot arm lay me gently back to the bed. I wake up again. One of the robot arm is on my face. What is it doing? I shudder, more shocked than anything else. The arm retracts back to its home in the ceiling. I feel my face for damage. One side has stubble, and the other is smooth. You were saving me? Conscious detected. The computer says, "What's your name?" I still don't know, Dad. Incorrect. Attempt number two. What's your name? I'm a Caucasian. I'm male. And I speak English. Let's play the odd. Oh shit, my name is John. Every does every like Caucasian white male name is John? Is that what it is? Oh, okay, me. We read and reread so true. I pulled the IV out of my arm. Bite me. It's Joan, Hail Mary. I'm Joan. Incorrect. The robot arm reached for me. I roll off the bed, which is a mistake. The other tube are still connected. The butt tube come right out. Doesn't even hurt. The still inflated cutter young right out of my penis. Holy shit. And that does hurt. It's like being a golf ball. Ew! I scream and right on the floor, my balls! A physical distress, says the computer. The arm gives chase. I crawl along the floor to escape. I get the under one of the other bed. The arm stops short, but they don't give up. They wait. They run by a computer. It's not like they run off the patient. I let my head fall back and grabs for bread. Breh, breh. After a while, the pain subsides, and I wipe tear from my eyes. We are. Do you guys know Tortured Goblin? Tortured Goblin comic? It's feel like reading those. I feel like I'm reading those right now. I feel like I'm reading someone getting tortured, and it's like a tortured goblin, and he's just getting tortured like every single page. Like this is nothing. Hey, his 100th line is also like have a story of a tortured goblin, but I don't fucking know. Anyway, have no idea what's going on here. Hey, I called. One of you wake up. What's your name? Oh, what's your name? The computer asks. One of you human wake up, please. Incorrect. The computer says. Is it? Is it I have no mouth and I must scream reference? Like, huh? My crotch hurts so bad. I have to laugh. It's just so absurd. Plus, the endorphin are kicking in, making me giddy. I look back at the cutter by my bunk. I shake my head in a wee. The thing went through my urethra. Whoa. Oh, so that's why it hurt. And it did some damage on the way out. Oh, why must you explain that you have a tube on your dick? We know. A little streak of blood sits. What is even blood? Is just a thin thread line of dot. Time skip. I sip my coffee, pop out the last fragment of toast into my mouth, and signal the waitress for my check. Oh no, actually, it's the previous. We go to like the back then before he got tortured. I could have saved money by eating breakfast at home instead of going to dinner every morning. Probably would have been a good idea, considering my meager salary. But I hate cooking and I love eggs and bacon. The waitress nodded and walked over the cash register to ring me up, but another customer came in to be seated right that moment. I checked my watch. Just past 7 a.m. No rush. I like to get into the work by 7:20 so I could have time to prep up the day. But I didn't actually need to be there until 8. I pulled out my phone and checked my email. 2. Double dot. Astronomy curiosity astrocious at sicilis.org from Irina Petrova, PhD. What? Irina Petrova actually have a psychology degree? Okay, you know what? Okay. Petrova at Goran.ru. Ru is Russian, right? Subject. The thin red line. Dot. I frowned at the screen. I thought I unsubscribed from that list. I left that life a long time ago. It didn't get a lot of volume, and what it did get, if memory served, was usually pretty interesting. Just a bunch of astronomers, astrophysicists, and other domain experts chatting about anything that struck them as odd. I glanced at the waitress. The customer had a bunch of questions about the menu, probably asking if salad dinner serve a gluten-free vegan grass clipping or something. The good people of San Francisco could be trying a time. With nothing better to do, I read the email. Hello, professional. My name is Dr. Irina Petrova. Sorry, I burped. Is the subject we are creating like Irina Petrova email that are getting sent to this protagonist. Okay, we still don't know his name. TLDR. For the past 2 years, I've been working on a theory related to infrared emission from nebulae. As a result, I've made a detailed observation in a few specific band of light, and I found something odd. Not in any nebula, but here in our own solar system. There is a very faint but detectable line in the solar system that emit infrared light at the 25,984 micron wavelength. Wavelength. There we go. It seemed to be solely that wavelength with no variance. Attached to our Excel spreadsheet with my data, I have also provided a few renders of the data as a 3D model. You will see on the model that the line is a loop-sided arch that rises straight up from the sun north pole in for 37 million kilometer, and from there it's angled sharply down away from the sun toward Venus. After the arch apex, the cloud widened like a tunnel. A funnel, sorry. It's basic kayak cylinder tapi kayak pucot gitu ya. The Venus, the arch cross section is as wide as the planet itself. The infrared glow is very faint. I was only able to detect it all at all because I was using extremely sensitive detection equipment while searching for emission from nebulae. But to be certain, I called it in favor from the Atacama Observatory in Chile. In my opinion, the best I'm sorry, I'm bad with English. Is it ER or AR or something? Observatory in the world. They confirm my finding. There are some there are many reasons one might see light in the interplanetary spaces. It could be space dust or other particle reflecting sunlight, or some molecular compound could be absorbing energy and re-emitting it in the infrared band. That would explain why it's all the same wavelength. The shape of the arch is particular interest. My first guess was that it is a collection of a particle moving along magnetic field line, but Venus had no magnetic field to speak of. No magnetosphere, no ionosphere, nothing. What force would make particle R's thwarted? And why would they glow? Any suggestion or theory would be welcome. Oh, ad starting soon. Let me check that. Let me water my let me drink some water. Water good. Mr. Gecko, welcome in. We are learning English today. We are reading the books finally. I'm just waiting for ads and stuff as I drink water. Blah, blah. Oh, why there's vegan notif? It's a scam report. Oh, nice. How is you, Mr. Gecko? My eyes a bit itchy, but I'm good. I'm just gonna continue. What the heck was that? I remember it all at once. It just kind of showed up in my head without warning. I didn't learn much about myself. I live in San Francisco. I remember that. And I like breakfast. Also, I used to be into astronomy, but no I'm not? Question mark? Apparently my brain decided it was critical that I remember that email. Not trivial thing like my own name. Oops, ads. I shall wait ads for you guys. So it'd been 30 minutes and the speed of me reading I'm really still on page 4. Oh my god, I read so slow, am I? My subconscious want to tell me something. Seeing the line of blood must have reminded me of the thin red line title of that email. But what's that got to do with me? Oh, the blood make him remember. I shimmy out, shimmy shimmy. I shimmy out from the under the bed and sit upright against the wall. The arm angled toward me, but still can't reach. Time to get a look at my fellow patient. I don't know who am I and why I'm here, but at least I'm not alone. And they're dead. What? Oh, yes, they're definitely dead. The one closest to me was a woman, I think. At least she had a long hair. Other than that, she mostly a mummy. Desiccated skin draped over bones. There's no smell. Nothing is actively rotting. She must have died a long time ago. The person in the other bed was a man. I think he's been dead even longer. His skin is not only dry and leathery, but also crumbling away. Okay, so I'm here with two dead people. I should be disgusted and horrified, but I'm not. They're so far gone, they don't even look human. They look like a Halloween decoration. I hope I wasn't close friend with either of them. Or I was. I hope I don't remember it. Mr. Welcome in. That people is a concern, but I'm more concerned that they've been here so long. Even a quarantine area would remove that people, wouldn't they? Whatever wrong must be pretty darn bad. I get to my feed. It's slow, and it takes a lot of effort. I steady myself at the edge of Miss Mummy bed. It wobbles, and I wobble with it, but I stay upright. The robot arm make a play for me, but I flatten myself against the wall again. I'm pretty sure I was in a coma. Yeah, the more I think of it, I was definitely in a coma. I don't know how long I've been here, but if I was put here at the same time as my roommate, it'd been a while. I rub my half shaved face. Those arms are designed to manage long term unconsciousness. More evidence I was in a coma. Maybe I can get to the hedge. I take a step, then another. Then I sink to the floor. It's just too much for me. I have to rest. Why am I so weak when I have this well toned muscle? And if I was in a coma, why do I even have muscle? I should be withered, spindly mess right now, not a beach bod bub. Yeah, I don't understand. Why you have a muscle when you have been in coma for so long? Would you at least have like muscle entropy? Do you even know where you are right now? I guess we're done. Oh, hold on. I have no idea what my aim game is. What should I do? Am I really sick? I mean, I feel like a curd, of course, but I don't feel sick. I'm not nauseated. I don't have headache. I don't think I have a fever. If I don't have disease, why was I in a coma? Physical injury. I feel it around my head. No limb or scar or bandage. The rest of my body seems pretty solid too. Better than solid. I'm rip. I want to nod off, but I resist it. Time to take another step at this. I push myself back up. It's like weightlifting, but it's a little easier this time. I'm recovering more and more. I hope. I shuffle along the wall, using my back for support as much as my feet. The arm constantly reach for me, but I stay out of range. I pan and wheeze. I feel like I ran a marathon. Maybe I have a lung infection. Maybe I'm in isolation for my own protection. I feel I finally make it to the ladder. I stumble forward and grab one of the rungs. I'm just so weak. Why am I going to climb a 10-foot ladder? 10-foot ladder. I think in an imperial unit, that's a clue. And probably an American or English or maybe Canadian. Canadian use feet and inches for short distance. What the fuck does that mean? I asked myself, how far is it from LA to New York? My guts answered 3,000 miles. A Canadian would have used kilometer. Okay, you are not Canadian because you don't use kilometer. Get it? So I'm English or American, or I'm from Liberia. I know Liberia use imperial unit, but I don't know my own name. That's irritating. I take a deep breath. I hang onto the ladder with both hands and put my foot on the bottom rung. I pull myself up. It's a shaky process, but I get it done. Both feet are on the lower rung now. I reach up, grab the next rung. Okay, making progress. I feel like my whole body is made of lead. Everything is so much effort. I try to pull myself up, but my hand just isn't strong enough. I fall backward over the ladder. This is going to hurt. It doesn't hurt. The robot arm catch me before I hit the ground because I fell into the grabbing range. They don't miss a bit. They return me to the bed and settle me in like a mother putting her child to sleep. You know what? This is fine. I'm really tired at this point. Lying down kind of works for me. The gentle rocking of the bed is comforting. Something bugs me about it. Oh, I feel off to the ladder. I replay it in my head. I can put my finger on it, but there's just wrongness into it. Hmm. I drift up. Time skip. Eat. There are toothpaste top on my chest. Huh? Eat. The computer says again. I lift the tube. It's wide with black text that reads day one, meal one. The heck is this? I say. Eat. I unscrew the cap and smell something savory. My mouth water at the prospect. Only now do I realize how hungry I am. I squeezed the tube and disgusting looking brown sludge came out. Ew! Ew, eat. Who am I to question a creepy robot arm computer overlord? I cautiously lick the substance. Oh my god! It's good! It's so good! It's like a thick gravy, but not too rich. I squeeze more straight into my mouth and savor it. I swear it's better than sex! What the fuck? I know what's going on here. They say hunger is the greatest seasoning. When you're starving, your brain rewards you with handsomely for finally eating. Good job, he'd say. We got to not die for a while. The pieces fall into places. If I was in coma for a long time, I must have been getting fed. I didn't have an abdominal tube when I woke up, so it's probably feeding me and with an NG tube running down my esophagus. It's the least intrusive way to feed a patient who can eat but has no digestion issue. Plus, it keeps the digestive system active and healthy, and explain why the tube wasn't around when I wake up. If possible, you should remove an NG tube while the patient is still unconscious. Why do I know that? Am I a doctor? I squeeze another shot of gravy goo into my mouth. Still delicious. I gobble it down. Soon the tube is empty. I hold it up. More of this. Meal complete. I'm still hungry. Give me another tube. Food allotment for this meal has been met. It makes sense. My digestive system is getting used to semi solid food right now. Best to take it easy. If I eat as much as I want, I'll probably get sick. The computer is doing the right thing. Give me more food. Okay. You think that, but and then you do the other way. Good. Good to know. No one cares about the right thing when they're hungry. Food allotment for this meal has been met. Bah! Still, I feel a ton of better than I did before. The food energized me on the spot. Plus, I had more rest. I rolled off the bed, ready to make a break for the wall. But the arm done chased me. I guess I'm allowed out of bed right now. I'm proven I can eat. I look down at my naked body. This just doesn't feel right. I know the only other people around are dead, but still. Can I have some clothes? The computer says nothing. Fine, be that way. I pulled the seat off the bed, wrap it around my torso a couple of times. I pulled one corner over my shoulder from behind my back and tied another from the front. Instant toga. Sorry, I burp. I need to drink more water. Panas, Joy. Beep, beep, water. I should probably. Nalain asi. Ntar ya guys. Panas. Hold on. Down in the city. Self-ambulation detected. Hold on, let me check something. There we go. Says the computer. What's your name? I'm Emperor Comatose. Kneel before me. Incorrect. Time to see what's up that letter. I'm a little unsteady, but I started walking across the room. This is a victory in itself. I don't need wobbly bed or wall to sling to. I'm on my own 2 feet. I make it to the letter. Grab hold. I don't need something to hang on to, but they sure make life easier. The hatch above look pretty darn solid. I assume it's airtight, and there's every chance it's locked. But I have to at least try. I climb out one rung. Tough, but doable. Another rung. Okay, I have the hang of this. Slow and steady. I make it to the hatch. I hang on the ladder with one hand and turn the hat circular crank with the other. It actually turned. Holy moly! I say. Holy moly? Is that my go-to expression of surprise? I mean, it's okay, I guess. I would have expected something a little less 1950-ish. What kind of weirdo am I? I turn the crank tree full rotation, and I hear a click. The hatch tilts downward, and I get off the way. It falls open, suspended by its hefty hinge. I'm free, sort of. Beyond the hatch, there's just darkness. A little intimidating, but at least it's a progress. I reach into the knee room and pull myself up to the floor. Light click as soon as I enter. Presumably, the computer doing. The room looked to be the same size and shape as the one I left another one room. One large table, a lap table from the look of it. It is mounted to the floor. Three lap stools are mounted nearby. All around the wall are pieces of the lab equipment. All of it is mounted to the table, or benches that are bolted to the floor. It's like the room is ready for a catastrophic earthquake. A ladder along the wall leads to another hatch in the ceiling. I'm in a well-stocked laboratory. So when do we isolation ward let patient into the lab? And this doesn't sound like medical labs anyway. What the fudge is going on? Fudge? Seriously? We have a young kid. Or I'm deeply religious. Yes. No, or maybe you're a Twitch streamer, you know? I sent to get a better look at thing. The lab have smaller equipment bolted to the table. I see an 8,000 microscope, an autoclave, a bank of test tube, a set of supply drawers, a sample fridge, a furnace, pipettes. Wait a minute. Why do I know all this item? I look at the larger equipment along the wall. Scanning electron microscope, sub millimeter 3D printer, 11 axis milling machine, laser interferometer, 1 cubic meter vacuum chamber. I know what everything is, and I know how to use it. I'm a scientist. Now we're getting somewhere. Time for me to use science. Alright, genius brain, come up with something. I'm hungry. You have failed me, brain. Okay, well, I have no idea what this lab is here or why I'm allowed, but onward! The hatch in the ceiling is 10 feet off the ground. It's going to be another ladder adventure. At least I'm stronger now. I take a few deep breaths and start climbing the ladder. Same as before. This simple act is a massive effort. Effort, there we go. I may be getting better, but I'm not well. I'm so gassy today, sorry. Good lord, I'm heavy. I make it to the top, but only just. I situate myself on the uncomfortable bars and push on the hatch handle. It doesn't budge. To look to unlock hatch, state your name, says the computer. But I don't know my name. Incorrect. I smack the handle with the palm of my hand. The handle doesn't move. No, the palm of my hand hurt. So yeah, not fretful. This will have to wait. Maybe I'll remember my name soon. Or find it written somewhere. I climb back down to the ladder. At least that's my plan. That's my plan. You'd think I'm going down would be easier and safer than going up. But no. No, instead of gracefully descending the ladder, I put my foot on the next rung down at an awkward angle. Lost my grip of the hatch ladle and fall like an idiot. I feel like an angry cat reaching out for anything I can grasp. Turn out, there's a terrible idea. I fall onto the table, smack a side of supply drawer with my shin. It hurt like a mother fluffer. I cry out, drop my shin in the pain, accidentally roll off the table, and fall on the floor again. The robot arm can catch me this time. I land on my back. It's knocked the wind out of me. Then adding insult to the injury, the supply drawer unit falls over. The drawer is open, and lab supplies rain down on me. The cotton swabs are no problem. The test tube just kind of hurt a little, and surprisingly doesn't shatter, but the tape measure smacks me square in the forehead. More stuff cluttered down, but I'm too busy holding the growing wall of my forehead to notice. How well is the tape measure? A 3 foot fall off a table, left a bomb on my head? That did not work, I say to no one. That whole experience was just ridiculous. Like something out of a Charlie Chaplin movie. Actually, it really was like that. A little too much like that. That same feeling of wrongness struck me. I grabbed a nearby test tube and tossed it into the ground, into the air. It goes up and come down like it should, but it annoyed me. Something about falling object ticking me off right now. I want to know why. What do I have to work with? Well, I have an entire laboratory and I know how to use it. But what's readily at hand? I look around at all the junk that fell to the floor, a bunch of test tube, a sample swab, popsicle stick, and a digital stopwatch, a pad, and some scotch tape, a pen. Dot dot. Okay, I might have what I need here. I get back to my feet and dust off my toga. There's no dust on it. My whole ward seems really clean and sterile, but I do motion just the same. I pick up the tape measure and take a look. It's metric. Maybe I'm in Europe, whatever. And I grab the stopwatch. I'm pretty sturdy, like something you take on a hike. It has a solid plastic shell with a hard rubber ring around it. Undoubtedly waterproof, but also dead as a doornail. The LCD screen is completely blank. I press a few button, nothing happened. I turn it over, got a look at the battery compartment. Maybe I can find a drawer with a battery in it, if I know what kind it need. I spot a little red plastic ribbon coming out of the bag. I give it a pull, and it come out entirely. The stopwatch beeped to life. Kind of like battery included toys, the little plastic tap was there to keep the battery from running down before the owner used it for the first time. Okay, this is a brand spanking new stopwatch. Honestly, everything in this lab looked brand new. Clean, tidy, no sign of wear, not sure what to make of that. I play with the stopwatch for a while until I understand the control. Pretty simple, really. I use the tape measure to find out how high the table is. Anyway, the table underside is 91 centimeter from the floor. I pick up the rest of the tube. It's not glass. It may be some kind of high density plastic or something. It certainly didn't break when it fell 3 feet to a hard surface. Anyway, whatever it made of, it's dense enough for an air resistant to be negligible. I laid on the table and ready the stopwatch. I put the test tube off the table with one hand and start the stopwatch with others. I time how long it takes to hit the ground. I get about 0.37 seconds. That's pretty darn fast. How my own reaction time isn't skimming the result. I note the time down on my arm with the pen. I haven't found any paper yet. How did he know that it's 0.3 without him actually is with only like a balling it? This dude must be really smart. I put the taste tube back and repeat the task. This time I get 0.3. I do it 20 times total, nothing to result. To minimize the effect of my error margin and starting and stopping the timer. Anyway, I end up with an average 0.348 second. My arm looked like a math teacher chalkboard, but that's okay. 0.348 seconds. Distance equal one half acceleration time times square. So acceleration equal to time distance over time square. This formula come easily for me. Second nature. I'm definitely skilled at physics. Good to know. I run the number and come out with answer I don't like. The gravity in this room is too high. It's 15 meters per second when it should be 9.8. That's why things falling feel wrong to me. They're falling too fast. And that's why so weak despite this muscle. Everything weighed on osmos. Oh. Is that why he's muscly? Because the gravity is too high? Like his body just entirely like on constant like exercise, pressure, etc. Okay, that actually makes sense now. Okay. things is nothing affect gravity. You can increase or decrease it. Earth gravity is 9.8 meter per second per second. Period. And I'm experiencing more than that. Only one possible explanation. I'm not on Earth. Mr. Shilly! Sorry, Basti can stay at work, but I hope you can catch me if I'm gone. Okay, Shilly, I miss you so much. I hope things is go good for you, Mr. Shilly. Have a good one. I'll be here. We just reading and chilling. I might stop reading at 3 hours because I'm not that skilled at reading. Yay! Did you see? I make a new badges. Look, you're a rainbow slime with the crown. Do you guys have noticed? I reworked the badges. By the way, it's more pixel. It have more pixel now. You guys have like beautiful. You guys are look very pretty. Yes, you are. Yes, it's pixel perfect now. It's a actual pixel. By the way, I'm planning to add two more pixel. I just need to export it. But yeah, I'm learning pixel. But Mr. Silly, thank you for being here. Sorry for keeping you for a while, but I hope work treating you well. Okay? Okay, go get them cham. Don't forget to drink water and rest, okay? Yeah, fuck them boss, just go rest when you feel tired. Okay, okay? No, no, in 2.5 hours, let's go. Yee! Yippee! Hold on. Oh, my ear. Thank you for the alert, Mr. Silly. Sorry, I burp. Sorry, I burp. Mm. Okay, which one is it? This isn't legible. Not the time the alarm. I haven't found any paper to expect repeated tasks. Oh, okay. I'm not on Earth. There we go. Oh, that's chapter one. We finished reading chapter one. Oh, for some reason I get so excited. Okay, chapter two. Okay, take a breath. Let's not jump to the wild conclusion. Yes, the gravity is too high. Work from there and things a sensible answer. Ah, let me put my mic down a bit. I could be in a centrifuge. I would have to be pretty big. But with art graffiti providing 1 gram, you could have this room and an angle running around the track or on the end of the long solid arm or something. Said that spinning and the aggregate centripetal force plus earth gravity could be 15 meters per second per second. Why would someone make a huge centrifuge with hospital bed and a lab on it in it? I don't know. Would it even be possible? How big would that radius have to be, and how fast would it go? I think I know how to find out. I need an accurate accelerometer. Dropping things off a table, timing them is all well and fine, but rough estimate. And it's only as accurate as my reaction time on hitting the stopwatch. I need something better, and only one thing will do the job: a small piece of string. I searched the lap drawer. After a few minutes, have half of the drawer open, have found just about every form of lap supplies except string. I'm about to give up when I finally find a spool of nylon of thread. Yes! I pull off a few feet of thread, cut it with my teeth. I tie a loop on one end and tie the other end around the tape measure. Water. After a few minutes, I have a half of drawer open and found just every form of lab supplies except string. I'm about to just give up when I finally found a spool of nylon thread. Yes, I pull up a few feet of thread, cut it with my teeth. I tie a loop on one end, tie the other end around the tape measure. The tape measure will be playing the role of the dead weight in this experiment. No, I just need something to hang it from. I look above me at the hatch over my head. I climb up the ladder easier now than ever before, and put the lube over the main latch handle, and I let the tape measure weight pull the string taut. I have a pendulum. Cool thing about pendulum is the time it takes for one to swing forward and backward, the period won't change, no matter how wide it swing. If it got a lot of energy, it swing further and faster, but the period will still be the same. This is what a mechanical clock take advantage of to keep time. That period end up being driven by two things, and two things only: the length of the pendulum and the gravity. I pull the pendulum to one side, release it, and start the timer. I count circles as it sways back and forth. It's not exciting. I almost want to fall asleep, but I stay at it. Oh, sleeping! Welcome in, sleeping. Have you drink water yet? Have you stretched your body? It's almost midnight. You better get good sleep. When I hit the 10-minute mark, the pendulum is barely moving anymore, so I decide that long enough, ran total a 3 for 6 full cycle in exactly 10 minutes. Oh, okay, I drink Blade. It's my turn to drink. Water, yes. Banjir Badang. Banjir Badang. We are reading Project Hail Mary right now. We're on Capture 2. It's one of the series that I actually really enjoy. Don't forget to drink at least 2 liters of water every day, guys. It's really healthy to drink a lot of water. Let's go. Onward to phase 2. I measured the distance from the hatch handle to the floor. It's just over 2.5 meters. I go back downstairs to the bathroom. Again, the ladder is no problem. I'm feeling so much better now. That food really did the trick. What's your name? The computer asked. I look down at my seat toga. I am the great philosopher Pandalus. Incorrect. I hang the pendulum on one of the robot hand near the ceiling. Hope it stays still for a while. I eyeball the distance between the robot hand and the ceiling. I call it a meter. My pendulum is now 4.5 meters lower than it was before. I repeat the experiment. 10 minutes on the stopwatch, and I count the total cycles. The result is 3 for 6 cycles, same as the upstairs. Golly. Thing is, in centrifuge. I don't know if you read it as centrifugal or in centrifuge or centrifuge or centrifugi. I don't know, guys. The farther you get from the center, the higher the centripetal force will be. So if I were in the centrifuge, the gravity down here would be higher than it was upstairs, and it isn't. At least not enough to get different number of pendulum cycles. But what if I'm really big centrifuge? One so huge that the force difference between here and the lab is so small, it doesn't change the number of the cycles. Let's see the formula for a pendulum and the formula for the force of the centrifuge. Wait, I don't have the actual force, just a cycle count. So there's 1 over x factor involved. But this is actually a very interesting problem. I don't understand what it's talking about. I have a pen, but no paper. That's okay. I have a wall. I'm sure a lot of crazy prisoner scribbling on the wall type of stuff. I have my answer. Let's say I'm on Earth and I'm in centrifuge. That would mean the centrifuge provides some of the force, with the rest being supplied by Earth. According to my math, and I show all my work, that centrifuge would need a 700-meter radius, which is almost half a mile, and it would be spinning at 8 meter per second, almost 200 miles per hour. Hmm. I think I think mostly in metric when doing science stuff. Interesting. Most scientists do though, right? Even scientists who grew up in America. Clicky! Hi Clicky, yes, reading time. Clicky, I was on your stream before and I see you making map. I see you making D&D map. I was doing stuff, so I end up just lurking while just staring at you making map. This looks so fun. Hope you have a wonderful day, Clicky. We are reading Project Hail Mary right now. It's the books have a lot of physics, and I'll be honest, I'm not the smartest person on the room, guys. So you're just gonna hear me reading it without actually understanding it. Okay. Art time with Clicky. Honestly, I never make like a D&D map before, but I see a lot of people like make D&D map, and you guys all look like you guys having so much fun. And I like it when people have fun in creating art. This what art should be. Oh, of course. I should have said hi, but I was like doing works. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna be here. you know, that type of deal. But anyway, thank you for being here. I'm reading. We are on Capture 2 Project Hail Mary. It's a really interesting book, even like I don't really get like all the physics stuff because I'm not that smart. But anyway, I don't understand what he's testing. So he's trying to test like the gravity of the place that he's in, right? He's have amnesia, he's testing the gravity, and he realized that it's not Earth because Earth have a gravity of 9.8 weight or something, yada yada yada. And he testing things with the string and the balls or something. So he ended up making a pendulum. So because he make a pendulum, he I don't know why he would test it. He said that the pendulum would at least have like the same speed all the fucking time, and it's so fucking weird. Oh, yeah, you should. I would recommend you to watch the movie as well. The movie is really good. It's really good. Miku, stop bonking me. I'm reading. Let's say I'm on Earth in a centrifuge. That would mean the centrifuge provides some of the force for the rest being supplied by Earth. According to my math, and I show up all my work, the centrifuge would need a 700-meter radius, which is almost half a mile. And it would be spinning at 88 meters per second, almost 200 miles per hour. Hmm. I think mostly in metric when doing science stuff. Interesting. Most scientific dude though, right? Even science we grew up in America. Anyway, they would be the largest centrifuge ever built. And why would anyone build it? Plus, something like that would be loud as heck, whizzing through the air at 200 miles per hour? Question mark? At the very least, there'd be something turbulence here and there, not to mention a lot of wind noises. I don't hear or feel anything like that. This is getting weird. Okay, what if I'm in space? There wouldn't be turbulence or wind resistant, but the centrifuge would have to be bigger, faster, because there's no gravity to help us out. More mad, more gravity on the wall. This person is really smart. They're trying to see the rotation of the planets all the time. Is it? Oh, so that's what he's doing? I don't understand either. I think he's trying to see like like how much gravity he can pass before going into conclusion that he actually not on Earth. I think but like on how I trying to understand this. More mad, more gravity on the wall. The radius would have to be 1,280 meters, close to a mile. Nothing anywhere near that big has ever been built for space. So I'm not in centrifuge, and I'm not on Earth, another planet. But there isn't any planet, moon, or asteroid in the solar system that has this much of gravity. Earth is the largest solid object in the whole system. Is it? Mm, sorry, I burp. Really? Earth is solid? Are you saying that like all the planets are not solid because they make of gas? Right? It's so sick. I please click if you like physics. I really recommend this. The song that we're listening is the song that they're using on the movie, and I would recommend you to for the book. And I watched the movie first before I read the book, by the way, and I like it. I like it a lot. It's so fucking cool. It's so flipping cool. It's the coolest shit that 2026 movie that had over to me. I'm like obsessed with it. And I personally think the movie and the book actually have it doesn't actually have a queer representation, but on my own head canon, I think the character is like kind of like queer itself. It kind of like I kind of reflect on it, and I don't know how to say it. It's so fucking sick. It's so fucking cool. Okay, Earth is the largest solid object in the whole system. Sure, the gas giants are bigger, but unless I'm in a balloon floating around the wind of the Jupiter, there's just nowhere I could go to experience this force. How do I know all the space stuff? I just know it. It feels like a second nature. Information I use all the time. Maybe I'm an astronomer, planetary scientist. Maybe I work for NASA or ESA or flashback. We're flashback again. I meet Marissa every Thursday night for steak and beer, Murphy on Goak Street, always at 6 p.m. because the staff knew us, always at the same table. We met almost 20 years ago in grad school. She dated my then roommate. The relationship, like most in grad school, was a train wreck and they broke up within 3 months. But she and I ended up becoming a good friend. When the host saw me, he smiled, jerked his thumb toward the usual table. I made my way through the kitchen decor to Marissa. She had a couple of empty lowball glasses in front of her and a full one in her hand. Apparently, she got in started early. Pre gaming, eh? I said, sitting down. She looked down, fidgeted with her glass. Hey, what's wrong? She took a sip of whiskey. Oh, day at work. I signaled to the waiter. He nodded, didn't even come over. He knew I wanted a rib eye, medium, mashed potato on the side, and a pint of Guinness. Same thing I ordered every week. How rocky could it be? I asked. Kasi government job with the DOA. DOA up. You probably get what, 20 paid day off a year? All you have to do is show up and you get paid, right? Again, no laugh, nothing. Oh, come on, I said. We'll put it in your Rice Crispy. She sighed. You know about the picture of a line? Sure, kind of interesting mystery. I guess it's solar radiation. Venus doesn't have magnetic field, but positively charged particle might be drawn there because it is electrically neutral. No, she said, it's something else. We don't know exactly what it is, but it's something else. But whatever, let's eat steak. I snorted. Come on, Marissa. Spill it. What the heck is wrong with you? She mulled it over. Why not? You hear it from the president in about 12 hours anyway. The president? I say. Of the United States? She took another gulp of whiskey. Have you heard of Amaterasu? It's a Japanese solar probe. Sure, I said. Blah. JAXA has been getting some great data from it. It's really neat, actually. It's in the solar orbit about halfway between Mercury and Venus. It has 20 different instruments aboard that. Yeah, I know. Whatever, she said. According to their data, the sun output is decreasing. I shrugged. So, where are we in the solar cycle? She shook her head. It's not the 11-year cycle, it's something else. JAXA accounted for the cycle. They're still in the downward trend. They say the sun is 0.01% less bright than it should be. Okay, interesting. But hardly worth 3 whiskey before dinner. Let me put my glasses back on and drink water. Ooh, Zero! Welcome in, Zero! We are reading Project Hail Mary. 6-6! Oh my god, Zero! One more and you can get 6-7. She pursed her lips. That's what I thought. But they're saying that value is increasing, and the rate of the increase is increasing. It's some sort of exponential loss that they caught very, very early, thanks to their pulp incredibly sensitive instrument. Not yet kind of crying anymore. No, but Zero, just one more and you get 6-7. I leaned back in the booth. I don't know, Marissa. Spotting an exponentially progression that early seemed really unlikely. But okay, let's say the JAXA scientists are right. Where's the energy going? The petrovoline. Huh? Huh? JAXA took a good long look at the petrovoline and they say it's getting brighter at the same rate that the sun is getting dimmer. Somehow or another, whatever it is, the petrol line is stealing energy from the sun. Huh? She pulled a sheaf of paper from her purse, put them on the table. It looked like a bunch of graph and chart. She shuffled through them until she found the one she wanted, then push it toward me. The x-axis was labeled time, and the y-axis was labeled luminosity loss. The line was expon, exponential for sure. This can be right, I said. It's right, she said. The sun output will drop full percent over the next 9 years. In 20 years, that figure will be 5%. This is bad. Really bad. I stared at the graph. That would mean an ice age like right away, instant ice age. Yeah, the fairlies and crop failure, mass starvation, and I don't even know what else. I shook my head. How can there be sudden change in the sun? It's a star for Christ's sake. Things just don't happen this fast for star. Change take million year, not dozen. Come on, you know that. No, I don't know that. And I used to know that. I only know the sun is dying. She said. I don't know why, and I don't know what we could do about it. I know it's dying. How? I furrow my eyebrow. Sit down with the rest of her drink. President addresses the nation tomorrow morning. I think they're coordinating with the other world leader to all announce at the same time. The waiter dropped off my genius. Here you go, sir. The steak should be cut off shortly. I need another whiskey, Marissa said. Make it two, I add. Flashback, back forward again. That's such a good chapter. Holy shit. Oh my god, I enjoy reading that. Bro, I enjoy reading that one. That's one page. Bro, this is so good. The way that they explain that the sun is dying with just two like two friend. They're just sitting like imagine like bro we're fucked right now. It's giving the same vibe like Jimmy, we're so fucked. But there's like the smiling friend one where the boss say that like bro this you're right, this y'all so fucking good. I like reading that one. Like it's not like that one like smiling friend episode where they be like the boss would say like we're so fucked right now. It felt the same vibe. It's so good. Oh, but they check in. It's giving fucked up day at work, but yeah, I didn't. Rather than them being like, oh, warning, 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 on like the television, they tell it in a way that before like the announcement of the fucked up announcement, they just between two friends just trying to get by. And you know what I like about it? I thought they would. This is why I like watching Project Hail Mary. I don't know how to say it without spoiling you, but I'm trying to avoid a spoiler as much as possible from the movie at least. But I like the fact that it's not being told in a few that this guy is dating the girl. Basically, it's not like they're not being a couple; they're just being a friends, right? They're just friends, and I like that. And as a romantic asexual, this series give me a lot of joy because I cannot relate to romance story. I cannot relate to people dating each other because I don't have the urge for it. Like I think like I think for me it's beautiful just to see interaction like between two friends, and that's why I like this series. Like a lot of time I was reading like, oh, they're dating, man, again, but they're not. It's never happened like that, and it bring me comfort. This thing give me a lot of comfort. Ooh, okay. We jump back to the present. I blink. Another flash of memory. Was it true? Or is that just a random memory of me talking to someone we got sucked into the bogus doomsday theory? Bogus? Are we the zombie? The bogus? Hands up. No, it's real. I'm terrified just thinking about it. And it's not just a sudden terror. It's a cozy, comfortable terror with a permanent seat at the table I folded for a long time. This is real. The sun is dying, and I'm tangled up in it. Not just a fellow citizen of Earth who will die with everyone else. I'm actually involved. There's a sense of responsibility there. I still don't remember my own name, but I remember random bits of information about the Petrofa problem. They call it the Petrofa problem. I just remember that. My substance has priorities, and it desperately telling me about this. I think my job is to solve the Petrofa problem. Blah. In a small lab. Fuck. Wearing a batshit toga with no ID, who am I? No help other than mindless computer and two mummified roommate. Fuck. My vision blur. I wipe my eyes. Tear I can remember their name, but they were my friend, my comrade. Only now do I realize I've been facing away from them the whole time. I done everything I can keep them out of my line of sight, scrawling on the wall like a madman with the corpse of people I care about right behind me. But now the distraction is over. I turn to look at them. I sob. I'd come without a warning. I remember bits and pieces all in a rush. She was funny. I was quick with a joke. He was professional with a nerve of steel. I think he was a military and he was definitely our leader. I fall to the floor and put my head in my hand. I can't hold anything back. I cry like a child. We were a lot more than friend, and a team isn't right word either. It's stronger than that's it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Finally, the words slide into my conscious mind. It had to wait until I wasn't looking to sneak in. Crew. We were a crew. And I'm all that left. This is a spacecraft. I know that now. I don't know how it was gravity, but it's a spaceship. Things start to fall into place. We weren't sick. We were in a suspended animation. But these beds are magical freeze chamber like in the movie. There's no special technology at play here. I think we were in a medically induced coma, feeding tube, IV, constant medical care, everything a body need. Those arm probably this arm probably changed seat. Keep us rotated to prevent bachelor. I did all the other thing ICU nurses would normally do, and we were keep fed. Electro- Electrodes all over our body to stimulate muscle movement. Lots of exercise. So that's why he was fit. I thought he was fit because like the gravity just pressure their muscle. Maybe I guess I'm wrong. So he get fed with electrode. Wait, if you get like injection of electrode, your muscle just move. Just it's just easy muscle, really? Huh. But in the end, comas are dangerous. Extremely dangerous. Only I survive, and my brain is a pile of mush. I walk over to the woman. I actually feel better looking at her. Maybe the sense of closure, or maybe it's just the calmness that come after crying Jack. The mummy has no tube attached, no monitoring equipment at all. There's a small hole in her leathery wrist. That's where the IV was when she died, I guess. So the hole never healed. Sorry, I burp. I just realized that if you have a wound and then you died, your body doesn't heal because your body just died, right? I just realized that. I didn't never think of that. The computer must have removed everything when she died. Waste not, one not, I guess. No point in using resource on that people. More for the survivors. More for me in the other world. I take a deep breath and like let it out. I have to be calm. I have to think clearly. I remember a lot just then my crew, some aspect of their personality that I'm on a spaceship. I'll freak out about that later. The point is I'm getting more memories back and they're coming short of when I want them inside at a random interval. I want to focus on that. But the sadness is just so strong. Eat, say the computer. A panel in the center of the ceiling opens up, and a food tube drops out. One of the robot arm catches it, places it on my bed. The label read days 1, meal 2. Yeah, they just move on their own. Electric causes a reaction in your muscle that just mini electrical pulses. We have a ton of electrical impulse happening in our body. Oh, what really? Oh, I just know that. I because like this like you know like when people talk about electrolytes, like, I thought it's about the drink. No, it's not like it actually move. So that's how you keep like a comatose patient to stay like to not have muscle entropy. Electrolyte, that's so cool. Thank you for telling me, Clicky. Jinmin, hi, welcome in. Congrats for the VIP, by the way. We're reading Hail Mary right now. It's really good. I'm not in the mood to eat, but my stomach growl as soon as I see the tube. Whatever my mental state may be, my body has need. I open the tube, squirt goop into my mouth. I have to admit, it's an incredible flavor sensation. I think it's chicken with hint of vegetable. There's no texture. Of course, I basically it's basically a baby food and it's a little thicker than earlier mid meal. It's all about getting my digestive system used to solid food again. Water, I said between mouthful. The ceiling panel open again, this time with a metal cylinder. An arm bring it to me. Text on the shiny container read potable water. I unscrew the top and sure enough there's water in there. I take a sip. It's room temperature and tastes flat. It's probably distilled and devoid of mineral, but water is water. Anyway, drink. I'm drinking Jinmin, thank you. Mm, good water. I finished the rest of my meal. I haven't had to use bathroom yet, but I'll need it to eventually. I'd rather not go wee on the floor. Toilet, I say. A wall panel spin around three will metal commode. It's just right there in the wall, like in the prison cell. I take a closer look. It has buttons and stuff on it. I think there's a vacuum pipe in the bowl. There's no water. I, this might be a zero G toilet modified for use in gravity. Why do that? Okay, dismiss toilet. The wall sea will run again. The toilet is gone. Alright, I'm well fed. I'm feeling a little better about things. Food will do that. I need to focus on some positive. I'm alive. Whatever killed my friend, it didn't kill me. I'm on a spaceship. I don't know the details, and I know I'm on a ship, and it seemed to be working correctly. And my mental state is improving. I'm sure of it. I sit cross-legged on the floor. It's time for a proactive step. I close my eyes and let my mind wanders. I want to remember something, anything. Oh, sorry. I want to remember something, anything, on purpose. I don't care what, and I want to initiate it. Let's see what I get. I start with what make me happy. I like science. I knew it. I got it through from all the little experiment I've been doing, and I'm in space. So maybe I can think about space and science and see what I get. Flashback. We going flashback again. I'm sorry, D. Ooh, is it ads time? I'll take a break. I'll stretch. Mm, I'll wait for the ads first. Let me see. Let me see how much ads it goes. I don't see ads going, but I'm just gonna wait. Mm, mm. I keep burping. Sorry, guys. How long I've been reading? 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay, it's flashback time. Oh, stop reading. What is that? To wanna do it. Oh, I can't break down and see. Mm. I pulled the piping hot spaghetti TV dinner from the microwave and I hustled over to my couch. I peeled the plastic off the top to let the steam escape. I unmuted TV and listened to the live feed. Several co-worker and few friends had invited me to watch this with them, but I didn't want to spend the whole evening answering questions. I just want to watch in peace. It was the most watched evening in human history. More than the moon landing, more than any World Cup final, every network, streaming service, new website, and local TV affiliate was showing the same thing. NASA live fed. The reporters start with an older man in the gallery of a flight control room. Beyond them, men and women in blue shirts fixed their attention on their terminal. "This is Sandra Elias," said the reporter. "I'm here at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. I'm here with Dr. Browning, who is the head of planetary science for NASA." She turned to the scientist. "Doctor, what's our status now?" Brown cleared his throat. "We received confirmation about 90 minutes ago that Archlight successfully inserted into the orbiter on Venus. Now we're just waiting for that first batch of data." It had been a heck of a year since the Jackson announcement about the Petrova problem, but study after study confirmed their finding. The clock was ticking, and the world needed to find out what's going on. So Project Archlight was born. The situation was terrifying, but the project itself was awesome. My internet couldn't help but excited. Archlight was the most expensive unmanned spacecraft ever built. The world needed answer and didn't have time to dilly dally. Normally, if you ask space agency to send probe to Venus in under a year, they laugh in your face. But it's amazing what you can do with an unlimited budget. The United States, European Union, Russia, China, India, and Japan all help to cover costs. Tell us about going to Venus, the reporter said. "What make it so hard?" "The main problem is fuel," said Brownie. "There are specific transfer window when interplanetary travel take the minimum amount of fuel. But we were nowhere near an Earth Venus window. So we had to put a lot more fuel in orbit just to get the Archlight there in the first place." "So it's a case of bad timing then?" the reporter asked. "I don't think there's ever a good time for the sun to get dimmer." "Good point. Please go on." "Venus move very fast compared to Earth, which mean more fuel just to catch up, even under ideal condition. It's actually taking more fuel to get to Venus than it does to get to the Mars." Amazing, amazing. Now, doctor, people have asked, why bother with planet? The petrophile line is huge, spanning an Earth for the sun to Venus. Why not somewhere between? Because the petrophile line is the widest there, as wide as the whole planet, and we can use the planet gravity to help us out. Archlight will actually orbit Venus 12 time while collecting sample or whatever material the petroleum line is made of. "And what is the material you think?" "We have no idea," said Brownie. "No idea at all, but we might have answers soon. Once Artlight finishes this first orbit, it should have enough material for the onboard analysis lab. And what can we expect to learn tonight?" "Not much. The onboard lab is pretty basic. Just a high magnification microscope and an X-ray spectrometer. The real mission here is sample return. It'd be another 3 months for Atsley to come home with those sample. The lab is a backup to get at least some data in case they're failure during return phase. Good planning was always Dr. Brownie. Is what we do." A cheer erupted for behind the reporter. "I'm hearing," she paused to let sound die down. "I'm hearing that the first orbit is complete and the data is coming is now." The main screen in the control room changed to a black and white image. The picture was mostly gray, with black dots scattered here and there. "What are we looking at, doctor?" said the reporter voice. "This is what the internal microscope," said Bronny, is a magnified 10,000 times. Those black dots are about 10 micron across." "Are those dots what we've been looking for?" she asked. "We can't be certain," said Brownie. "They could just be dust particle. Any major gravity source like a planet will have a cloud of dust surrounding." "What the fuck?" Come a voice in the background. Several flight controller gasped. The reporter snickered. High speed here at GPL. We are coming to you live. Oh, reporter voice, reporter voice. The reporter snickered. High speed here at GPL. We're coming to you live. So we apologize for any. Oh my god! Said Brownie. On the main screen, more images come through, one after another, are nearly the same. Nearly. The reporter looked at the image on the screen. Are those particles moving? The image, playing in succession, saw the black dot deforming, shifting around within their environment. The reporter cleared her throat, delivered what many would call the understatement of the century. They look like a little microbes, wouldn't you say? Telemetry! Dr. Brownie called out. Any shimmy on the probe? Already checked, said someone. No shimmy. Is there any consistent direction of travel? He asked. Something that could be explained by an external force? Magnetic, maybe? Static electricity? The room feels silent. Anyone? Said Brownie. I dropped my fork right into my spaghetti. Is this actually alien life? Am I really that lucky to be alive when humanity first discovered extraterrestrial life? Whoa, I mean, the petrol problem is terrifying, but whoa, alien! This could be alien! I could wait to talk about this with the kids tomorrow. Angular anomaly. The computer says, if we go back from the flashback, we go to present again. Darn it, I say. I was almost there. I must remember myself. Angular anomaly, the computer repeats. I unfold myself, get to my feet. In my limited interaction with it, the computer seems to have some understanding of what I say, like Siri or Alexa. So I'll talk to it like I talk to one of them. Computer, what is angular anomaly? Angular anomaly, an object or body designated as critical is not the expected location angle by at least 0.01 radians. What body is anomalous? Angular anomaly. I don't really get this honestly. Not much help. I'm on the ship, so it must be navigational issue. That can be good. How would I even steer this thing? I don't see anything resembling spaceship control. Not that. I really know what those look like, but all I discovered so far is a coma room in the lab. The other hatch in the lab, the one that lads further up, that must be important. This is like being in a video game. Explore the area until you find a locked door, then look for the key. But instead of searching bookshelf and garbage can, I have to search my mind because the key is my own name. The computer not being unreasonable. If I can even remember my own name, I probably shouldn't be allowed into the delicate area of the ship. I climb onto my bunk and lie on my back. I keep a wary eyes off the robot's arm above, but they don't move. I guess the computer is satisfied that I am self-sufficient for now. I close my eyes and focus on the flash of memory. I can see bits and pieces of it in my mind, like looking at an old photo that been damaged. I'm in my house, no apartment. I have an apartment. It's tight, it's teeny but small. There's a picture of the San Francisco skyline and one wall. Not useful. I already know I live in San Francisco. There's a lean cuisine microwave meal off the coffee table in front of me. Spaghetti. The heat still hasn't equalized yet. So there are of nearly frozen noodle next to tongue melting plasma. But I'm taking bites anyway. I must be hungry. I'm watching NASA on TV. I see all the stuff from my previous plus of memory. My first thought is, I'm elated. Could it be an extrasensual life? I can wait to tell the kids. I have kids? This is a single man apartment with a single man eating single man meal. I don't see anything feminine at all. There's nothing to suggest a woman in my life. Am I divorced? Gay? Either way, there's no sight that children live here. No toys, no picture of kid on the wall or mantle. Nothing. and the place is way too clean. Kids make mess and of everything. Especially when they start chewing gum. They all go through a gum phase, at least a lot of them do, and they leave it everywhere. How do I know that? I like kids. Huh? Just a feeling. No way. But I like them. They're cool. They're fun to hang out with. So I'm a single man in my 30s. We'll live alone in a small apartment. I don't have any kids, but I like kids a lot. I don't like where this goes going. No. No, no. A teacher. I'm a school teacher. Oh my god, thank fucking God. I remember it now. Oh, thank God I'm a teacher. This fucking book. Do you want me to reread that? Thank fucking God! Holy shit! I was sweating a bit. I was sweating a bit. Holy shit! Okay. I like kids. Huh? Just a feeling, but I like them. They're cool, they're fun to hang out with. So I'm a single man in my 30s. We live alone in a small apartment. I don't have any kids, but I like kids a lot. I don't like where this is going. Dot. A teacher. I'm a school teacher. I remember it now. Oh, thank God I'm a teacher. I just think it's so funny. It's such a good line. It's so fucking terrible. I make me sweaty. And then I was like, oh, thank fuck, I don't like, oh, thank fucking God. Capture two and with a bang. This capture two, everyone. We read through capture one and two. Surprisingly, every capture, it need me like 40 minutes to read. Water my throat. Capture three. All right. You know what? Let me put water in again. That's so funny, dog. Uh, I almost had my body on trenches. Ugh. Oh yeah, that gave me like I'm crying. I was like, oh no, it's not that books. It's not that type of books. It's not that type of books. You know what? Let's go to culture tree. Culture tree. All right. I said. I looking at the clock. We have 1 minute until the bell. You know what's that mean? Lightning round! Yelled my student. Oh, we're flashback. We're flashback. Flashback. We're going flashback. Life had changed surprisingly little since the announcement about the Petrovo line. The situation was dire and deadly, but it was also the norm. Londoners during the Blitz in World War II went about their day as normal, with the understanding that occasionally buildings get blown up. Holy fuck. We were desperate thing where someone still had to deliver milk. And if Mr. McCready house got bombed in the night, well, you crossed it off on the delivery list. Can you have at least more empathy, Jesus? So it was that with the apocalypse. So it was that with the apocalypse looming, possibly caused by an alien life form. I stood in front of the bunch of kids and taught them basic science. Because what's the point of even having a world and you're not going to pass it on the next generation? The kids sat in a neat row of desks facing the front, pretty standard stuff, but the rest of the room was like a mad scientist lab. There we go. I spent years perfecting the look. I had a jack-up ladder in one corner. I keep it unplunged so the kid didn't kill themselves. What the fuck is jack-up ladder? Along another wall was a bookshelf full of specimen jar of animal part and formaldehyde. One of the jars was just spaghetti and boiled egg. Okay, good to know. The kids speculated on that one a lot. Gracing the center of the ceiling was my pride and joy. A huge mobile that was model of the solar system. Jupiter was the size of the basketball, while we Mercury was as small as a marble. It had taken me years to cultivate rap as a cool teacher. Kids are smarter than most people think, and they can tell when a teacher actually care about them as opposed to when they're just going through the motion. Anyway, it was time for the lightning round. I grabbed a fistful of beanbag off my desk. What is the actual name of the North Star? Polaris, said Jav. Correct. I throw a beanbag to him. Before he even couched it, I fired off the next question. What are the three basic kind of rock? Igneous, sedentary, and metamorphic, yelled Larry. He was excitable, to say the least. So close, I said. Igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic, said Abby with sneer. Pain in the ass, that one, but smart as a whip. Yes, I threw her beanbag. What wave do you feel first during an earthquake? The P wave, Abby said. You again? I threw her beanbag. What the speed of the light? 3 times 10 to Abby began. See, yelled Regina from the back. She rarely spoke up. Good to hear her coming out from her shell. Sneaky, but correct. I cocked her beanbag. I was answering first, Abby complained. But she finished her answer first, I said. What's the nearest star to the earth? Alpha Centauri, Abby said quickly. Wrong, I said. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Anyone else? Oh, Larry said, it's the sun. Right, I said. Larry get the beanbag. Careful with your assumption, Abby. She folded her arms in a half. Who can tell me the radius of Earth? Trang raised his hand. 3,900. Trang, Abby said. The answer is Trang. Oh, Trang froze in confusion. What? I asked. Abby printed. You asked who could tell you the radius of Earth? Trang can tell you. I answered correctly. Outsmarted by a 13-year-old wasn't the first time. I dropped the beanbag on her desk just as the bell rang. The kids leaped from the chair, collected their books and backpack. Abby flushed with victory, took a little more time than the others. Remember to cash in your beanbag at the end of the week for toys and other prizes. I said to the retreating back. Soon the classroom was empty, and only echoing sound of the children in the hallway suggested any evidence of life. I collected their homework assigned from my desk and slipped them into my valise. Sixth period was over. Time to hit the teacher lounge as for a cup of coffee. Maybe I correct some paper before I headed home. Anything to avoid the parking lot. A fleet of helicopter mom would be descending on the school to pick up their children, and if one of them saw me, they always had some complaint or suggestion. I can fault someone for loving their kid, and God knows we could do with more parents being engaged in their kid education, but there's a limit. Ryland Grace, a woman voice, said a woman voice. I look up with a start. I hadn't heard her coming. She looked to be in her mid 40s, wearing a well tailored business suit. She carried a briefcase. Oh, yeah? I said. Can I help you in something? I think you can. She said. She had a slight accent, something European. I could quite put my finger on it. My name is Eva Strad. I'm with the Petrova Task Force. The what? The Petrova Task Force is an international body set up to deal with the Petrova line situation. I've been tasked with finding a solution. They give me a certain amount of authority to get things done. They was they, every member of the UN. Wait, what? How did? An anonymous secret vote. It's complicated. I like to talk to you about scientific paper you wrote. Secret vote? Never mind. I shook my head. I shook my head. My paper reading dies all over. Academia didn't work well for me. You're a teacher. You're still in academia. Well, yeah, I said. But I mean, you know, academia with scientists and peer review and an asshole will get you kicked out of your uh, and an asshole will get you kicked off of your university. Serious an eyebrow, and who could all your funding cut off and ensure you never get published again? Yeah, Dad. She pulled a binder out of her briefcase. She opened it and read the first page. An analysis of water-based assumption and recalibration and of expectation for evolutionary model. She looked up on me. He wrote this paper, yes. Wait, she said his name. The flashback make him actually remember his name. His name is Rylan Grace, see? Finally. I'm sorry. How did you get a dual title? But very exciting content, I have to say. I said my follies on my desk. Look, I was in a bad place when I worked at OK. I had enough of the research world, and that was some sort of kiss my butt goodbye. I'm much happier now as a teacher. See, flip a few pages. You spend years combating the assumption that life requires liquid water. You have an entire section here called the Goldilocks Zone is for the idiots. You call out dozens of eminent scientists by name and berate them for believing the temperature range is a requirement. Yeah, but your doctorate is in molecular biology, correct? Don't most scientists agree that liquid water is necessary for life to evolve? They're wrong. I crossed my arm. There's nothing magical but hydrogen and oxygen. They require for Earth life for sure. But another planet could have completely different condition. All life needs is a chemical reaction that results in copy of the original catalyst, and you don't need water for that. Yeah, I mean like uh, I don't know. I mean there's no water by the time the earth getting created. No, maybe I'm wrong. Is it? Maybe with the first because there's water. I don't like what's. I'll just keep reading. I closed my eye, took a deep breath, and let it go. Anyway, I got mad, and I wrote that paper. Then I got a teaching credential, a new career, and started to actually enjoying my life. So I'm glad no one believed me. I'm better off. I believe you, she said. Thanks, I said. But I have paper to grade. Can you tell me why you're here? Sorry, I burped. She put the binder back in her briefcase. You are aware of the archlight probe and the peripheral line, I assume. I'd be pretty lame science. I'd be a pretty lame science teacher if I wasn't. Do you think those toads are alive? She asked. I don't know. They could just be dust bouncing around in magnetic field. I guess we find out when Archlight get back. Teto! GG Gaming. GG mean good game. To Earth. That coming up, right? Just a few weeks from now. In return on the 23rd, she said, Roscosmos will recover it from the low Earth orbit with a dedicated Soyuz mission. I nod. Then we'll know soon enough. The most brilliant mind in the world will look at them and find out why they're bad. Who's going to do that? Do you know? You, she said. You're going to do it. I stared blankly. She waved her hand in front of my face. Hello? You want me to look at the dot? I said, yeah. The whole work puts you in charge of solving this problem, and you come directly to a junior high school science teacher? Yes. I turn and walk out the door. You're lying. Insane. Or combination of the two. I have to get going now. This is not optional, she said to my back. Seem optional to me. I waved goodbye. Yeah, it wasn't optional. When I got back to my apartment, before I even got to my front door, four well dressed men surrounded me. They showed me their FBI badges and hustled me into one of the three black SUV parked in a complex parking lot. After a 20-minute drive where they refused to answer any of my questions or even speak to me at all, they parked and showed me into a generic looking business park building. My feet barely touched the ground as they lead me down on the empty hallway with unmarked door every 30 minutes or so. Finally, they open a set of double door at the end of the hall and gently nudge me inside. Unlike the rest of the abandoned building, this room was full of furniture and shiny, high-tech devices. It was the most well-stocked biology lab I ever see. And right in the middle of the all was Eva's shred. Hello, Dr. Grace. Sissy, this is your new lab. The FBI agent closed the door behind me, leaving Strad and me alone in the lab. I rubbed my shoulder where they had manhandled me a little too hard. I look at the door behind me. So when you say a certain amount of authority, I have all the authority. You have an accent. Are you even from America? I'm Dutch. I was an administrator at ESA, but that doesn't matter. Now I'm in charge of this. I cannot do Russian accent, guys. Sorry. There is no time for slow. International committee. The sun is dying. We need a solution. It's my job to find it. Oops, ads. Time to search my bone. Dun, 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 dun. I am enjoying this reading. I actually enjoyed the books a lot. Bum bum be dum bum be dum bum be dum bum. Even 2 hours? God damn. Gonna button. Do 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 do. Di jam 1. Check something. Dung 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 ding 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 ding. Do 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 do. Where's this one? Oh, okay. April 13. Oh. Oh, berapa tanggal 14? Mr. Claire, do you like today reading? Oh, Ads is done. Okay, I'm gonna drink water. Stretching. Good background audio. Nice. Sometimes like I be like a bit aware about my voices because like my English is not that good, and sometimes I feel like, do I read this good enough? Yeah, yeah, that kind of stuff, you know. But I want to keep practicing my English stuff, and there's no other way to practice than to keep doing it and to keep on reading, you know, and then usually I just look on my phone and like see what the mistake that I did, and then just like Google it, that kind of stuff. Because I feel like I have a voice blindness sometimes. Yeah. Anyway, we are on the okay. I'm Dutch. I was an administrator at the ESA, but that doesn't matter. No, I'm in charge of this. There's no time for slow. International committee. The sun is dying. We need a solution. It's my job to find it. She pulled up a lap stool and sat down. These dots are probably a life form. This exponential progression of solar dimming and is consistent with the exponential popular growth of a typical life form. You think they're eating the sun? They're eating its energy output at least, she said. Okay, that's well terrifying. But regardless, what the heck do you want from me? The Archlight probes is bringing a sample back to Earth. Some of them might still be alive. I want you to examine them and find out what you can. Yeah, you mentioned that earlier. I said, but I have to believe there are more qualified people to do this than just me. Scientists all over the world will be looking at them, but I want you to be the first. Why? It's life on or near it's life on or near the surface of the sun. Does that sound like a water passed life form to you? She was right. Water simply can't exist at those temperature. After about 3000 degrees Celsius, the hydrogen and oxygen atom can't stay bound to each other anymore. The surface of the sun was 5500 degrees Celsius. That's almost twice. She continued. The field of the speculative extraterrestrial biology is small. Only 500 or so people in the world, and everyone I talked to from Oxford professor to Tokyo University research seemed to agree that you could have led it if you hadn't suddenly laughed. Gosh, I said, I didn't leave on good terms. I'm surprised they say nice stuff about me. Everyone understands the gravity of the situation. There's no time for old grunges. But for what it's worth, you'll be able to show everyone you were right. You don't need water for life. Surely that must be something you want. Sure, I said. I mean, yeah, but not like this. She opened off her stool, headed to the door. It is what it is. Be here on the 23rd of 7 p.m. I'll have the sample for you. What? I said, it'd be in Russia, wouldn't it? I told the Roscosmos to land their Soyuz in Saskatchewan. The Royal Canadian Air Force will record the sample, bring it directly here to San Francisco via fighter jet. The US will allow the Canadian use of the airspace. Saskatchewan? Soyuz capsules are launched from Baikonur Cosmodrome, which is at high latitude. To safe landing location are the same latitude. Saskatchewan is the closest large flood area on San Francisco that meet all the requirements. I hold up my hand. Wait, the Russian and Canadian American will just do whatever you tell them? Yes, without question. Are you joking me with all this? Get accommodated with your new lab disgrace. I have other thing to deal with. She walked out the door with another word. Yes! I pumped my face. Oh, it's flashback. It's present day again. I jumped to my feet. I climbed the ladder out of the lab. Once there, I climbed the ladder and grabbed hold of the mystery hatches. Just like last time, as soon as I touched the handle, the computer says, to unlock hatches, to unlock hatches, state your name. Ryland Grace. I said with a smug smile. Dr. Ryland Grace. A small click from the hatch is the only response I get. After all the meditation and introspection I did to find out my own name, I would there be something more exciting. Confetti, maybe. I grabbed the handle, twist it turned. My domain is about to grow by at least one new room. I pushed the hatch upward, like the connector between the bathroom and the lab. This hatch slid to the side. This new room is pretty small, so I guess there wasn't room for the hatch to swing in. And the next room is LED light flick on. The room is round, like the other two, but it's not a cylinder. The wall tapering inward toward the ceiling is a truncated cone. I spent the last few days without much information to go on. No information assault me for every direction. Every surface is covered with computer monitor and touch screen. The sheer number of blinking light and color is staggering. Some screen have rows numbered, others have diagram, and others just look black. On the edge of the conical wall in other hatches, this is one less mysterious though. It has the word airlock stenciled across the top, and the hatch itself has a round window in it. Through the window, I can see a tiny chamber, just big enough for one person with a spacesuit inside. The far walls has another hatch. Yep, that's an airlock. And in the center of everything is a chair. It's perfectly positioned to be able to reach all screen, touch panel easily. I climbed the rest of the way into the room, settle into the chair. It's comfortable, kind of a back seat. Pilot detected, the computer says. Angular anomaly. Pilot. Okay. Where's the anomaly? I asked. Angular anomaly. HAL 9000 this computer is not. I look around at the menu screen for a clue. The chair swivels easily, which is nice in this 3060-degree computer pit. I spot one screen with a blinking red border. I lean in to get a better look. Angular anomaly. Relative motion error. Predicted velocity. 1423 kps. Measured velocity 11,872 kps. Status autocorrecting trajectory. No action required. Well, that means nothing to me except kps. This might mean kilometer per second. Above the text is a picture of the sun. It's jiggling around slightly. Maybe it's a video, like a live feed, or is that just my imagination? On a hunch, I touched the screen with two fingers and dragged them apart. Sure enough, the image zoomed in. Just like using a smartphone, there are a couple of sunspots on the left side of the image. I zoom in on those until they fill the screen. The image remains amazingly clear. It's either extremely high resolution photo or extremely high resolution solar telescope. I estimate the cluster of sunspot is about the width of the disk. Pretty normal for sunspot. I mean, Now looking at a half degree of the sun's circumferences. Very raw math here. The sun rotates about once per 25 days. Science teachers know this sort of thing, so it should take an hour for the spot to move off the screen. I'll check back later and see if they have. If so, it's a live image. If not, it's a picture. 1872 kilometer per second. Velocity is relative. It doesn't make any sense only you are comparing two objects. A car off the freeway might be going 70 miles per hour compared to the ground, but compared to the car next to it, it's moving almost zero. So what is that? Measured velocity. Measuring the velocity of I think I know. I'm in a spaceship, right? I have to be. So the valley is probably my velocity, but compared to what? Judging by the big old picture of the sun over the text, I'm guessing it's the sun. So I'm going 11,870 kilometer per second with respect to the sun. I catch a flicker for the text above. Did something change? Angular anomaly, relative motion error, predicted velocity, 11,422 kps, measured velocity, 11,871 kps. Status: autocorrecting trajectory. No action required. Those numbers are different. They both went down by one. Oh, whoa. Hang on. I pulled a stopwatch from my toga. The best ancient Greek philosopher always carried a stopwatch in their toga. Then I stared at the screen for what seemed like an eternity. Just before I'm about to give up, the number pot dropped by one again. I stopped the timer. This time, I'm ready for how long the wait will be. Again, it seemed interminable, but I stand firm. Finally, the number bot drop again. I stop the timer. 66 seconds. They should add another one. Measured velocity is going down by one every 66 seconds. Some quick math tell me that the acceleration of 15 meter per second. That's the same way gravity acceleration I worked out earlier. The force I'm feeling isn't gravity, and it's not a centrifuge. Centrifuge. I'm in the spaceship that is constantly accelerating in line. Well, actually, it's decelerating. The value are going down. And that velocity is a lot of velocity, yes. It's going down. But well, to reach the Earth orbit, you only need to go 8 kps. I'm going over 11,000. That's faster than anything in the solar system. Anything that fast will escape the sun gravity and go flying off into interstellar spaces. The readout doesn't have anything to indicate what direction I'm going, just a relative velocity. So now my question is, am I barreling toward the sun or away from it? Question mark? It's almost academic. I'm either on a collision course with the sun or on my way out to deep space with no hope of returning, or I might be headed in the sun general direction, but not on a collision, of course. If that's the case, I'll miss the sun and then fly off into the deep space with no hope of returning. Well, if the image of the sun is real time, then the sunspot will get larger or smaller on screen as I travel, so I just have to wait until I know if it's a real time. Let's take about an hour and start the stopwatch. I acquaint myself with the million other screen in the little room. Most of them have something to say, but one of them just show an image of a circular crest. I think it's probably an idle screen or something. If I touch it, that computer will make up. But that idle screen might be the most informative thing in here. It's a mission crest. I see enough NASA documentary to know one when I see one. The circular crest has an outer ring blue with white text. The text read Hail Mary across the top and Earth across the bottom. The name and port call for this vessel. I think then the ship came some other than Earth, but okay. Finally, I guess I finally know the name of this ship I'm on. Oh, the title of the book. I'm aboard the Hail Mary. Not sure what to do with that information, but that's not all the crest has tell me. Inside the blue band, there's a black circle with a weird symbol inside, a yellow circle with a dot in the middle, a blue circle with a white cross, and a small yellow circle with a lowercase t. No idea what any that is supposed to mean. Or on the edge of the black area, it's say in kanji Chinese word. I don't fucking know. And then the other one is in Russian. I cannot read Russian. And Grace, the crew. I'm Grace. So those other two must be the name of the mummy in the bunk downstairs. A Chinese person and a Russian person. The memory of them is almost at the surface, but I can quite pull it up. I think some internal defense mechanism is suppressing it. When I remember them, it's going to hurt. So my brain refuses to remember them. Maybe I don't know. I'm a science teacher, not a trauma psychologist. Yes, he's having a CPTSD, isn't he? I wipe my eye clear. Maybe I won't push too hard for that memory just yet. I have an hour to kill. I'll let my mind wander to see what else I can remember. It's getting easier and easier. Mm, sorry. I'm not 100% comfortable with all this, I said. Oh, it's flashback. My voice was muffled by the full hazmat suit I wore. My breath fogged up. Um, the clear final face with no thingy. You'll be fine, said Strut voice over the intercom. She watched it from the other side of the double pan, very thick glass. They made a few upgrades to the lab. And the equipment was all the same, but now the entire room was air sealed. The walls were lined with thick plastic sheet, all held together with some kind of a special tape. I saw CDC logos everywhere. Quarantine protocol. Not at all comforting. The only entry now was through a big plastic airlock, and they made me put a hazmat suit before going in. And the airline led to my suit from a spool in the ceiling. All the top of the line equipment was ready for whatever I wanted to do. I never seen a lab so well stocked. And in the middle was a wheeled charge holding a cylindrical container. Stenciled writing on the cylinder read, "Is on ration again." Not a deeply useful. Strut wasn't alone in the observation room. About 20 people in military uniforms stood with her, all looking on with interest. There were definitely some American, some Russian, a few Chinese officer, plus many more unique uniform I didn't even recognize. A large international group. None of them said a word, and by some silent agreement, they all stayed a few feet behind Strad. I grabbed the ear holes with my gloved hand and gestured to Strad with it. Is this really necessary? She pressed the intercom button. There's a very good chance the sample in this cylinder is an alien life form. We're not taking any chances. Wait, you're not taking any chances, but I am? It's not like that. How is it not like that? See, boss. Okay, it's exactly like that. I walked to the cylinder. Did everyone else have to go through this? So look at the military people and they shrugged at her. What do you mean by everyone? You know, I said. The people were transferred into this container. There's a sample container from the capsule. It's 3 centimeter of lead surrounding a cell of the centimeter thick steel. It had been sealed sanitary finished. It has 14 latches you need to open and get to the sample itself. I'll look at the cylinder, back to her, back to the cylinder, and back to her. There's some this is some ball pocky. Look at the bright side, she said. You'll be forever known as the man who made first contact with the extraterrestrial life. If it's even alive. I fumble. I mumble. I got the foreign latches open with some effort. Those things were tight. I've actually wonder about how the arch light probe closed to them in the first place. Must have been some kind of cool actuated system. The inside wasn't impressive. I didn't expect it to be. Just a small clear plastic ball that appeared to be empty. The mysterious dots were microscopic. There weren't very many of them. No radiation detected. Strach said through the intercom. I shot a glance over her. She watched her tablet intensely. I took a good long look at the ball. Is this under vacuum? No, she said. It's full argon gas at 1 atmosphere of pressure. The dot has been moving around the whole time the probe was returning to from Phoenix, so it looks like the argon doesn't affect them. I look at that all to run the lab. There's no glove box here. I can just expose unknown sample to normal air. The entire room is full of argon, she said. Make sure you don't kink your airline or rip your suit if you breathe argon. I'll suffocate and won't even know what is happening. Yeah, okay. I took the ball of tray, carefully twisted it until it came apart in two halves. I placed one half in the sealed plastic container and mopped the other half with the dry cotton swab. I scrapped the swab again on slide and took it to the microscope. I thought they'd be harder to find, but there they are, dozens of little black dots, and they were indeed wriggling around. Regarding all this, from 36 different angles, she said. Sample consists of many round objects, I said, almost no variance in size. It appeared to be approximately 10 micron in diameter. I adjust the focus and try the various intensities of backlighting. Sample are opaque. I can't see inside. Even the highest quality light setting. Are they alive? Strut asked. I glared at her. I can just tell that at the glance. What do you expect to happen here? I want you to find out if they're alive, and if so, find how they work. That's a tall order. Why? Biologists work out how battery work. Just do the same thing they did. That took thousands of scientists 2 centuries to work out. Well, do it faster than that. Tell you what. Tell you what. I pointed back to the microscope. I'm going to get back to work now. I'll tell you anything I work at when I work it out. Until then, you can enjoy some quiet study time. I spent the next 6 hours doing incremental tasks. Over that time, the military people wandered out, eventually leaving only Strad by herself. I had to admire her patience. She sat in the back of the observation room and worked on her table, something looking up to see what I was doing. She perked up as I cycled my way through the airlock and into the observation room. Got something? He asked. I unzipped the seat and stepped out of it. Yeah, full of bladder. She typed on her tablet. I had an account for that. I'll get a bathroom installed instead the quarantine area tonight. It'll have to be a chemical toilet. We can have plumbing going in and out. Fine, whatever. I said. I hustled off to the facility to do my business. When I returned, Strut had pulled a small table and 2 chairs to the center of the observation room. She sat in one of the chairs and gestured to the other. Have a seat. I'm in the middle of. Have a seat. I took a seat. She had commanding presence, that for sure, something about her tone of voice or her general confidence level, maybe. One way or another, when she spoke, you just kind of assume you should do what she said. What have you found so far? She asked. It's only been one afternoon, I said. I didn't ask how long it'd been. I said what you found out so far. I scratched my head. After hours in the suit, I was sweaty and presumably smelled bad. It's weird. I don't know what those dogs are made of, and I really like to know. Is there some equipment unit that you don't have? She asked. No, no. There's everything a guy could hope for in there. It just doesn't work on this dot. I settled back into the chair. I've been on my feet most of the day, and it was nice to relax for a moment. First thing I tried was the X-ray spectrometer. It sent X-ray into sample, making it emit proton and you can tell from the wavelength of the proton what element are present. And what did that tell you? Nothing. As far as I can tell, this dot just absorbed X-ray. The X-ray go in and they never came out. Nothing came out. That very odd. I can't think of anything that does that. Okay. She took some of note of her tablet. What else you can tell me? Next, I tried gas chromatography. Gas chromatography. There we go. This is where you vaporize the sample and then identify the element or compound in the resulting gas. That didn't work either. Why not? I threw up my hand because the darn thing just won't vaporize. That led me down the rabbit hole of burner oven and crucible furnace that turn up nothing. The dots are unaffected at temperature up to 2000 degrees Celsius. Nothing. And that's odd. It's crazy odd, I said. But this thing live on the sun, at least some of the time. I guess having a high resistance to heat makes sense. They live on the sun? She said. So they're a life form? I'm pretty sure they are, yeah. Elaborate. Well, they move around. It's plainly visible through the microscope that the land doesn't prove their life. Inner stuff move all the time from static charge or magnetic field or whatever. There is something else I noticed, something weird, and I made the piece fall into places. Okay. I put a few dot under the vacuum and ran a spectrograph. Just a simple test to see if they emit light, and they do, of course. They give off infrared light at the 29,984 micron wavelength. That's the Petrova frequency, the light that make the Petrova line. I expected that, but then I noticed they only emit light when they're moving, and boy, do they emit a lot of it. I mean, not a lot from our point of view. For a tiny single-celled organism, it's a ton. And how is that relevant? I did some of the back of the napkin mat, and I'm pretty sure that like is how they move around. Start raised an eyebrow. I don't follow. Believe it or not, like has a momentum. I said, it exerts a force, and if you were out in the space and you turn on a flashlight, you get a teeny tiny amount of thrust from it. I didn't know that. No, you do. A teeny tiny thrust on a tiny teeny mass can be a effective form of propulsion. I measured the dot average mass about 20 picogram, and that took a long time, by the way. But that lab equipment is awesome. Anyway, the movement I see is consistent with momentum of the immediate light. She set her tablet down. I had apparently accomplished the rare feat of getting her undivided attention. That is something that happened in nature. I shook my head. No way. Nothing in nature has that kind of energy storage. You don't understand how much energy this dot are emitting. It's like getting to the scale of mass conversion. E equal MC2 kind of stuff. This tiny dot have more energy stored up in them than remotely makes sense. Well, she said, they did just come from the sun, and the sun is losing energy. Yeah, that's why I think it's a life form. I said it's consume energy, store it in some way we don't understand, then use it for propulsion. It's not simple physical or chemical process that complex and directed, something that must have evolved. So the Petrova line is a tiny little rocket flares. Probably. I bet we're only seeing a small percentage of the total light coming off that area. They use it to propel themselves to Venus or the sun, or both. I don't know. Point is, the light will go away from the direction of the travel. Earth isn't in that line. We only see the light reflect off nearby stars. Why do they go to Venus? See us. And how do they reproduce? Good question. One I don't have answer for, but if they're a single cell stimulus response organism, they're probably reproduce through mitosis. I pause. That's when the cells split in half to become two new cells. Yes, I know that's much, thank you. So look at to the ceiling. People always assume our first contact with alien life and exist would be a little green man and UFO. We never considered the idea of a simple, unintelligent species. Yeah, I said. This isn't Vulcan dropping by to say hi. This is space algae. An invasive species like cane toads from Australia. Get analogy? I nodded, and the population is growing fast. The more of them they are, the more solar energy get consumed. Zip into her chin. What would you call an organism that exists on diet of stars? I struggled to remember my Greek and Latin word. I think you call astropage. Astropage, she said. She typed it to her tablet. Okay, get back to it. Find out how they breed. Flashback, present time. Water, 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 water. That's interesting. I actually can understand that. That's actually interesting. Astropage! The word alone make my all my muscle clench up. A chilling terror that hit like a lead weight. That's the name? The thing that turned all life on Earth. Astropage. I glanced at the monitor with my zoomed in image of the sun. The sunspot have moved noticeably. Okay, it's a real time image. Good to know. Wait, I don't think they're moving at the right speed. I checked the stopwatch. I was only daydreaming for 10 minutes or so. The sunspots should have moved a fraction for a degree, sorry, but they're halfway off the screen. Way more than they should have moved. I pulled the tape measure from my toga. I zoom out the image and actually measure width of the sun. Sunspot cluster on the screen. No more raw estimate. I went real mad here. The solar disk is 27 centimeter on the screen, and the sunspot are 3 millimeter, and they moved half their width 1.5 millimeter in 10 minutes. Actually, it was 517 seconds according to my stopwatch. I scribbled some math on my arm. At this resolution, they're moving 1 millimeter every 344.66 seconds. To cross the entire 27 centimeter, it would take a scribble just over 93,000 seconds. So it take that long for the crosser to cross the near side of the sun. It take twice that long to get all the way around. So 1,800, 1,100. This is heart rate. 185,100 seconds. The deleted over 2 days. Over 10 times faster than the rotation should be. The star I'm looking at is not the sun. I'm in the different solar system. Oops, chapter 3 ending. I don't know if I should end my reading there or just continue till I finish chapter 4. Oh, there's 30 chapter. We're basically only 25%. I think I enjoyed. I actually enjoyed. The writing are not too hard to read, despite all the physics and stuff. I think it's a really good book. Chapter 4. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. I think it's time I took a long ghost darn look at the screen. Why am I in another solar system? That doesn't even make sense. What star is that anyway? Oh my god, I'm so going to die. I hyperventilated for a while. Remember what I tell my student. We were said, take a deep breath, let it out, and come to that. If dramatically reduce the number of tantrum in my classroom. I remember what I tell to my student. Mhm. Take a breath. One, two. This isn't working. I'm going to die. I hold my head in my head. I hold my head in my hand. Oh my god, where the heck am I? Score the monitor for anything I can make sense of. There's no lack of information. There's too much. Each screen has a handy label up the top. Life support, airlock status, engine, robotic, extra piece, generator, centrifuge. Wait a minute. Astro page? I checked this astro page and the panel closely remaining. 2000, 2009, 20,906 kilogram consumption rate, 6 6,000 gram per second. Far more interesting than those numbers in the diagram below them. It's what I assume is the Hail Mary. My first real review of what the ship looked like. The top of the ship is a cylinder with no cone at the front. That's a rocket shape if I ever saw one. Judging by the tapered conical walls of the control room, this might be very far of the ship. Beneath me is the lab. On the diagram of the room labeled the lab, below that is the room I woke up in. The one with my dead friend. Bro. I sniffle, wipe away a tear. No time for that right now. I put it out of my head, keep looking at the diagram. The room is named dormitory. Okay, so this whole diagram line up with my experience. And it's nice to know that official name of thing underneath the dormitory is much shorter room, maybe about 1 meter high. Name storage. Aha! There must be a panel in the floor that I miss. I make a mental note to check that out later. But there's more. A lot more. Under the storage area, there's an area labeled cable fairing. No idea what's that it or why it sits beneath that. The zip found out, and there appear to be three cylinders the same width as my little area. They're all side by side. My guess is that assembled this ship is space. The largest diameter they could launch was about 4 meters. The trio of cylinder, I think they 75% of total ship volume are labeled as fuel. The full area is broken up into 9 sub-cylinder. I tap one of them out of curiosity, and I bring up a screen for that one full buy. It's a astrophage, 0.000 kilogram. It has a button to label jettison. Well, I'm not sure why I'm here or what these things are about, but I definitely don't want to hit any button labeled jettison. It's probably not as dramatic as it seems. These are fuel tank. If the fuel has been spent, the ship can ditch the tank to reproduce its mass, make the remaining fuel last longer. It's the same reason rocket lifting off from Earth have multiple stages. Oh, so that's why. Let me drink some water. Interesting that the ship didn't automatically eject them as they become empty. I dismissed the window and returned to the main ship map. Under each of this large fuel zone is a trapezoidal area labeled spin drive. I never heard of them before, but since the back of the ship has the word drive in the name, I assume it's the propulsion system. Spine drive, spine drive. I close my eyes and try to think about it. Flashback. Nothing happened. I can call up memory at will. I'm not quite there yet. Okay, this is not flashback. I peer at the diagram more closely. Why is there 20,000 kilograms astro piece on the ship? I got a strong suspicion. It's the fuel. And why not? Astrophage can propel itself with light and absurd energy storage capability. It had God knows how many billion years of evolution to get good at it. It's like a horse is more energy efficient than a truck. Astrophage is really is horse more efficient than truck? Astrophage is more energy efficient than spaceship. I guess it makes sense because horse eat grass, make energy. Meanwhile, truck eat a bunch of shit to just move. Yeah. Okay, that's explain why there are a buttload of astrophage on the ship. It's fuel, but why put diagram of this shit on the screen? That's like putting a blueprint of a car on his gas gauge. Interestingly, the diagram doesn't really care about the room. It doesn't even show what inside then. Just a label for each one and that's it. However, the diagram is very focused on the pool and the rear part of the ship. I see red pipe leading from the fuel area to the spin drive, probably hope fuel to get to the engine. But I also see the pipe all along the whole of the ship, and they cut across the cable flying area. So Astra Page fuel is mostly in the fuel tank, but also keeping shells around the hole. Why do that? Oh, and there are temperature reading all over the place. I guess temperature is more important. The reading are every few meters along the hall, and every single one of them read 96,415 Celsius. Hey, I know that temperature. I know the exactly temperature. What do I know it from? Come on, brain, come on. 96,415. Read the display, huh? I said, what is it? Strut said immediately. It was my second die in the lab. Strut still insisted I be the only person to look at Astropies, at least for the time being. She dropped her tablet on the table, come over the observation room window. Something new? Kind of. The ambient temperature of an extra page is 96,415 degrees Celsius. That's pretty hot, isn't it? Yeah, almost the boiling point of water. I said. For anything living on Earth, it would be deadly, but for a thing that's comfortable near the sun, who knows? So what's significant about it? I can get them hotter or colder. I point to the experiment I set up opening the fin of the hood. I put some astropates in ice cold water for an hour. When I pulled them out, they were 96,415 degrees Celsius. Then I put some in the lab furnace at 1,000 degree. Again, after I pulled them out, 96,415 degree. Short piece next to the window. There's a lot of number. And I'm reading right now. Maybe they have extremely good insulation. That for that. So I did another experiment. I took an extremely small droplet of water, put astrobation in it. After a few hours, the whole droplet was 96,415 degrees again. Ah. The astrobation heated up the water, so that means the heat energy can move on it. What conclusion can you draw, she asked. Oh, as if the astrobase is made from water, guys. Ha ha ha. I tried to scratch my head, but the feels that got in the way. Well, we know we have a huge amount of energy stored inside, and guessing they use it to maintain body temperature, same way you and I do. A warm-blooded microorganism? She said. I shrugged. Looks that way. Hey, how much longer am I going to be the only person working on this? Until you stop discovering new stuff. I shrugged. Look at that way. Hey, how much longer am I going this? Oop, I accidentally returning. One guy alone in the lab? That's not how science works. I say there should be hundred of people all over the world working on this. You're not alone in that though. She said. I had three different head of state call me today. Then let other scientists in on it. No. Why not? She looked away for a moment, then back through the window at me. Astropage and alien microbes. What if it can infect human? What if it's deadly? What if hazmat suit and new friend glove are enough protection? I gasped. Wait a minute, am I gonna pig? I'm gonna pig. No, it's not like that. She said. I stared at her. She stared at me. I stared at her again. Okay, it's exactly like that, she said. Dang it, I said. That's just not cool. Don't be dramatic, she said. I'm just playing it safe. Imagine what would happen if I sent Astropage to the most brilliant mind on the planet and it killed them all. In an instant. You lose the very people we need the most right now. I can risk it. I scoffed. This isn't some cheesy movie strut. Pathogen evolves solely over time to attack specific hosts. Astropage has never even been on Earth before. There's just no way it can infect human. Besides, it's been a couple of days. I'm not dead, so send it out to the real scientists. You are a real scientist, and you're making progress as fast as anyone else could. There's no point in me risking other life while you're getting it done on your own. Are you kidding? I said. With a couple of hundred mind working on this, we make a lot of most progress going on. Are you also most deadly diseases have minimum at least 3 days of incubation time? Ah, there it is. She walked back to her table and picked up her tablet. The rest of the world will have their turn in time, but for now, it's just you. At least tell me what the hell those things are made of, then we talk about giving it to the other scientists. Is this the reason that Grace is like starting on this because he's getting like sacrificed? Is it why? Like, do she want him to die? Like, what the fuck? Seriously, I'm reading this tablet. Confirmation I take burn, but I okay. Let me get this one. Seriously, when reading her tablet, the conversation was over, and she ended it by laying down what my student would call a sick burn. Despite my best effort, I still had no idea what the heck astropage was made of. They were opaque to every wavelength of light. I threw at them visible infrared, ultraviolet, X-ray, and microwave. I even put a few astropage in the radiation containment vessel and exposed it to the gamma ray emitted by Celsius 137 This lab has everything. I called it Bruce Banner test. Felt good about that name. Anyway, even Gamma could penetrate the little bastard, which is like shooting a .50 caliber round at the sheet of paper and having it bounce off. It doesn't make any sense. I'll circle back to the microscope. The little dot hang out the slide where they'd been for her. This was my contrast. The one I hadn't battered with various light source. Maybe I'm overthinking this, I muttered. I poked around the lab supplies until I found what I needed. Nanosyringe. They were rare and expensive, but the lab had them. Basically, they were tiny, teeny tiny needle. Small enough and sharp enough to be used for poking microorganism, and you could pull mitochondria out of it living cell with one of these babies. Back to the microscope. Okay, you little reprobates, you already improve. I'll grant you that, but how about I step you in the face? Normally, a nanosyringe would be controlled by family tuned equipment, but I just wanted some stabby time and didn't care about the tool integrity. I grabbed the clock, where it would be normal mount to the control machinery, and brought to the needle into view in the microscope. They call it nanosyringe, but they're actually about 50 nanometer wide, and still the needle was tiny compared to the hulking 10 micrometer page, only about 1/2000 the width, the wide. I poke an astral piece with the needle, and what happened next was nothing I could have expected. First of all, the needle penetrated. No doubt on that one. For all its resistance to light and heat, apparently the astral piece was no better at dealing with sharp things than any other cell. The instant I poke a hole in it, the whole cell became translucent, no longer a featureless black dot, but a cell with organelles. Everything else microbiologists like me want to see just like that. There was so flicking a switch. And then it died. The ruptured cell wall simply gave up the ghost and completely unraveled. The astropage went from being cohesive around this object to slowly widening puddle with no outer boundary. I grabbed a normal needle from a nervous cell and sucked up the goop. Yes, I said, I killed one. Good for you. Strahd said without looking up for her tablet. Very human to kill an alien, just like Arnold in Predator. Okay, I know you're trying to be funny, but the Predator died by deliberately setting off a bomb. The first human to actually kill a Predator was Michael Harrigan, played by Danny Glover in Predator 2. She stared at me through the window at the moment. She shook her head and rolled her eyes. Point is, I can finally find out what Astropace is made of. Really? She set Talbot down. Killing it did the trick? Think so. It's not black anymore. Like getting through. Whatever weird effect was blocking it isn't anymore. How did you do it? What killed it? I penetrated the outer membrane with nanosyringe. You pocketed it with a stick? No, I said. Well, yes, but it was scientific poke with a very scientific stick. It took you to the thing of poking it with a stick. You be quiet. I thought the needle to the spectroscope and injected the astropage cube onto the platform. Then I sealed the chamber and fired up the analysis, once from one foot to the other like a little kid while I waited for the result. Strat craned her neck to watch me. So what is she doing now? It's the atomic emission spectroscope, I said. I told you about it earlier. It sends X-ray into sample to excite the atom, when then watches the wavelength to that come back. Didn't work at all. When I tried it on the life astro page, but know that magic like stopping property are gone, things will work like normal. The machine beep. I like. Here we go. Time to find out what chemical are in life form that doesn't use water. I read the LCD screen. It showed all the peak and the element data present. I stared at the screen silently. Well, start side. Well, ooh, the carbon and nitrogen, but the vast majority of the sample is hydrogen and oxygen. I sighed and plopped down in the chair next to the machine. The ratio of hydrogen to oxygen is 2 to 1. What's wrong? She asked. What does that mean? It's water. It's water. It's rich is mostly water. Her mouth fell open. How can something that exists on the surface of the sun have water? I shrugged. Probably because it maintained its internal temperature at 96,415 degrees Celsius, no matter what's going outside. What does that mean? I put my head in my hand. I put my head in my hand. I mean, every scientific paper I ever read is wrong. What is this man with his beef with water, bro? Well, that's the kicks in the pan. But I wasn't happy in it. But I wasn't happy in that lab anyway. Yeah, you're fucking you're like a unit pig. You're fucking like torturing you. You're like a tortured goblin. And they must have worked with smarter people than me because here I am, another starship in the ship powered by extra page. So why am I the one out here? All I did was prove that my lifelong belief was wrong. I guess I'll remember that part later. For now, I want to know what star that's it and why we built the ship to bring people here. All the important thing to be sure, but right now there's a whole area of the ship that I haven't explored yet. Storage. Maybe I can find something other than makeshift toga to wear. I climbed on the ladder to the lab, and then farther downward into the dormitory. My friends are still there, still dead. I try not to look at them. I scan the floor for any hint of an access panel, nothing. So I get down on my hand and knee and crawl around. I finally spotted a very thin seam making square directed under my male crewmate bunk. I can even reach on my fingernail into the shim. It's so thin. There were all manner of the tools in the lab. I'm sure there were flathead screwdriver I could use to pry this open. Or, hey computer, open this access panel. Specify aperture to open. I point the panel. This thing open it. Specify aperture to open. Oh, open aperture to supply room. Unsealing supply room, say the computer. There's a click and the panel rises a couple of inches. A rubber gasket around the seam get torn apart in the process. I couldn't see it when the panel was closed. Things were that tight. I'm glad I didn't try to pry it open. It would have been a pain in the butt. I pulled the remnant of the seal of the panel, and the panel became loose in the opening. I jiggled it a bit before figured I have to rotate it. Once I rotated 90 degrees, it detaches and I set it aside. I poke my head in the room below and see a bunch of soft-sided white cubes. I guess that makes sense. Packing stuff in your soft container lets you cram more thing into the room. Just as the diagram in the control room said, the storage area is about a meter high and completely full of those soft container. I would have to remove a bunch just to get in there. If I wanted to get in there, because I'll have to eventually. I look a bit claustrophobic, to be honest, like the crowd spills under the room. I grab the nearest package and pull it up through the opening. The package is held together by a Velcro strap. I pulled down the part and container unfold a Chinese takeout box. Inside there were a bunch of uniform. Jackpot! So, not really a coincidence. Whoever packed this probably did it with careful planning, and they knew the crew would want some uniform as soon as they wake up. So, they're in the first bag. There are at least dozen uniform in the package. There is, in fact, concealed plastic bag. I opened none at random. It's a light blue one-piece jumpsuit, astronaut clothes. The fabric is thin but feel comfortable. On the left shoulder is Hail Mary mission badge. Some design I saw in the control room. Beneath that is a Chinese flag. The right shoulder has a white patch with blue chevron triangle surrounded by red design and the letter GNSA. I recognize it immediately. Nerd that I am is the Chinese National Space Agency logo. There's a name tag over the left breast pocket. It read kanji, I don't know. The student character I saw in the Hail Mary meeting class is pronounced Yao. How do I know? Of course I know. Commander Yao. He was our leader. I can see his face now. Young and striking, eyes full of determination. He understands the severity of the mission and the weight on his shoulder. He was ready for the attack. He was stern but reasonable, and you just knew he would give up his life in the second for the mission or his crew. I pulled out their uniform, much smaller than the commander. The mission patch is the same, but the Russian flag beneath it. And the right shoulder has tilted thread chevron based during its symbol of Rush Cosmos, the Russian space agency. The name Patriot, Rush in Russian, their name from the chest. This was Ilyushina uniform. Oh, 3 hours have passed. I think I'm gonna stop reading there. I'm starting to not process the information, so I think it's best for me to just chop myself out. Do I enjoy reading the book? I do. But I think reading for 3 hours is all I can. But yeah, for this today for it's probably gonna be an archive. I'm not fighting the copyright on this one, but hope everyone enjoy with me. Gonna rate someone now. To the not all wrong stream like per usual, like I know, but sometimes you just gotta do something meaningful and just go off. Chop chop. But I'll see you guys next time. Let's see what I can read right now. Oh, they're Delty. Hmm. There any of my friend? Oh. No, I'm reading to Lotus because she's very cute. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.